Ladies and gentlemen, is this it? Is this my final stream of the playoffs? Is it Gripper Nation's final stream of the playoffs? Oh, I don't think so, because Gripper Nation is everywhere all the time. But ladies and gentlemen, are the Edmonton Oilers about to go to the Stanley Cup Finals? Man, it is buzzing in Edmonton tonight. Unbelievable. They're starting the national anthems right now. And let me just tell you this. I gotta give it to the crowd. They are fired up and ready to go. There's something about Enter Sandman. That song never gets tired if you want to get fired up. If you're lifting weights, or if you're coming out for hockey, or you're about to play Call of Duty online, just get fired up, get mad, get angry. Let's go. And Oilers fans, man, they've been fired up for a while. I can tell. I think it's been beer day in Edmonton today. So listen, hi guys. Want to say this: the Oilers haven't clinched a Stanley Cup Final berth at home since 1988. Wayne Gretzky. Exactly 200 days ago, the Edmonton Oilers were 31st in the overall NHL standings. 200 days ago, they were 14 points back of Dallas, and they were 8 back of the second wild card. Look at them now. They are so close. It's happening right in front of your eyes. The Edmonton Oilers could be going. But here's the thing. The Dallas Stars are the team that are supposed to destroy the Oilers, supposed to rinse the Oilers, supposed to not stand a chance against the Oilers. Well, can that depth come through? Can we get a little bit more scoring throughout the lineup? I will say this. Dallas is supposed to be the more balanced team here, right? The number of different goal scorers in the Western Conference Final. Dallas has 7 different goal scorers in the Western Conference Final. That's pretty impressive. That's a line and a bit. Edmonton has 11. That's almost 4 full lines. And all those stats are thanks to the stats god, producer Hayden Matheson. I want to say, we got a fun game tonight. We got Edmonton Oilers locked in. I'm looking at Zach Hyman's face. I'm looking at Matthias Ekholm's face. They're ready. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to get a grip? Gripper Nation. Let's go. And shout out to the chat. I'm so excited that we're here. We got Blues fans rooting for the Oilers. We got basically a whole bunch of anti-Dallas in the chat, but there's a lot of Stars fans with us tonight. I wonder how you guys are feeling. Big Ron, 3 months strong, and you guys are still awesome. That's the STP VIP, Big Ron. Guys, are you ready for a great game tonight? This is going to be an absolute classic. It could be my last stream of the NHL playoffs. It might not be, though. It might not be. These are the Dallas Stars. Better take them seriously. I just hope you're ready. I hope you're excited. The flags are going in Edmonton. My goodness. And by the way, I just want to say I'm so jealous about how late the sun is up in Edmonton. Something that I've always loved about it. It's this time of year, it's like bright in Edmonton till like 10:15. It'll get up to like close to 11 o'clock by mid-June. It's crazy. We're about to get our first face-off. Sagan's out there. It's been a good line for Dallas. Let's do a little clap to Align Streams here. I'll let you know when mine goes. And, of course, they didn't show the face-off. But I guessed. So we should be within a second of each other. And remember to smash that like button. Like a true YouTuber, smash it. Let's go. Daniel Bastarash. Daniel, I don't know how to say your last name properly. Edmonton moves on, and then Corey Perry loses another Cup Finals. Ooh. Okay, we got another face-off at center ice. I don't know why. Here we go. Boom. Reese Ledger Spring, foot cam fund, $5. Thank you, Reese. Tonight's crew, the Grip Lord Adam Wylde on the mic, Stat God Hayden Matheson, and Nice Boy Online Justin Fisher in the chat. So make sure you say hi to everybody. I'm excited for the Dallas Stars to play this goalie, by the way. Not this goalie. I'm excited to see Bork. Maverick Bork, who has why did I say goalie? Has the best name in hockey right now. He gets the mantle, doesn't he not? Let's see what he can do. I don't know if this is a sign of desperation. I don't know if they need more scoring throughout the lineup. What whatever it is they need, Dallas decided, you know what? It's Maverick Bork's turn. And I'll give you a little bit of a background on him while we're waiting for the game to pick up here. 1852 in the first period. Maverick Bork is a very, very good hockey player, and he's another one of these young, annoyingly good Dallas Stars that you just go, for God's sakes, really? He's only played one game in the NHL. That was once in the regular season, but this is a 30th overall pick from 2020, which was a weird draft, if you remember, because it was COVID. He had 77 points in 71 games for the Texas Stars this year. He's a centerman, so he can switch in and out with Sam Steele, although I imagine they're going to keep him on the wing most of the time. And what he's going to bring them is a little bit of playmaking ability. Remember, on Sam Steele's right is Evgeny Dadonov. So Ty Dellandrea is out. Radek Faksa is out. In is Maverick Bork. They're literally trying to get scoring from anywhere. And as I mentioned, the Edmonton Oilers have 11 different guys who've scored in this series. Dallas only has 7. So you're hoping for something, somewhere. And if he plays well, can you put Maverick Bork a little higher up in the lineup from time to time? You don't know. The Oilers are the 18th team in NHL history to have 4 players with 20-plus points in a playoff year. How bonkers is that? All of the other 17 made the Stanley Cup Final. 13 of those 17 won the Cup. Most points by a defenseman through 17 games of a postseason. Are you ready for this? Oilers coach Paul Coffey is on this list. But I'll start at number 5. Denny Potvin, 17 games of a postseason, 25 points. Brian Leetch, so Denny Potvin did that in 81. 1994 Cup winner Brian Leetch in 1994 through 17 games had 25 points. Evan Bouchard, 2024 Oilers, 17 games, 25 points. Cale Makar, 2022 Avs, 26 points. And Paul Coffey, 85 Oilers, 34 points through 17 games. Again, all won the Stanley Cup in those seasons, except for Bouchard, yet. If you're an Oiler fan, you're excited. If you're a Dallas fan, you're probably biting your nails off. And you know, I got to say, with Florida going to the finals, that New York really just didn't look like they had an answer for the Florida Panthers. I am wondering, and I kind of spent today talking to my wife about it a little bit, how each of these teams are going to match up, whoever goes to the finals in this series, against the Florida Panthers. It's going to be tough. Oh, Steve gifted 50 subs? No, he gifted $5. And 50 subs. What? Steven, Big Baller Steven, there's one off the post there. So technically not a shot on goal. Steve gifting 50 subs. They took my job. Cassie, probably. Yo, Cassie gang. Cassie, thank you for all your help these playoffs. I don't know where you're at tonight, but man, we love you. And by the way, it's Stuart Skinner playing net for the Oilers, not Jeff Skinner. I'm going to get that right tonight. My brain's in a little bit of a place. I got a little sleep this weekend. My kid's birthday party happened. Oh, here we go. We got a breakaway. Zach Hyman. Oh, little butt power, little glute power. And he just baited Tanev into a penalty call. All he did was keep his feet moving. All Tanev did was keep his stick down. And Tanev is going to the box for tripping. And that's after a pretty good Dallas Stars start with 3 shots on goal. Not bad. Not bad. Damn, hashtag Saudi Steve dropping these. Oh, and Eris Mix 23 dropping 25 more, 5 more subs. Damn. Woo! Making everybody a VIP member. Remember to renew. The Edmonton Oilers did not get a power play goal in this series. In fact, neither team did until last game. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins had 2. Edmonton looked dangerous. Let's see what they do. Leon Draisaitl loses the draw, although Zach Hyman, as he does, gains possession, but Evan Bouchard can't hold it at the line. Oh, checking. Oh, gotta check my phone here. Gotta check my phone. Justin Fisher, Adam, want to play a game? Pick a player from both teams. If either player scores a goal tonight, I will drop 10 gift subs. Okay. For the Edmonton Oilers, I'm going big gamer Zach Hyman. Zach Hyman will score tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. Oh, and I should have said McDavid because he just potted one, baby. That's the third power play goal of the series. He walks in and uses Zach Hyman's butt power and sneaks one past Jake Ottinger. The Edmonton Oilers are in this game early. One shot, one goal, and that is all it took. And it was Zach Hyman, I would argue, that created that goal by basically drawing the penalty from Chris Tanev. He kept his feet moving. Chris Tanev did not move his stick. Tanev to the box. McDavid to the back of the net. And a nice little setup by Draisaitl here. But what McDavid does, which Edmonton has not done in the games where they haven't won in this series, is drive the net. He can walk around guys, and look at what he does. Not much that they can do. Like, what's Heiskanen going to do there? He's got the wrong, and Lindell's got Hyman covered, but no. That's a Connor McDavid classic playoff goal. That's a big game player, ladies and gentlemen. I still say Zach Hyman's going to score tonight. And for the Dallas Stars, I'm going to go Jason Robertson. That is only Connor McDavid's fifth goal of the playoffs. He's got well over 20 assists, though. Only 5 goals. Guess he hasn't needed to score. They're a game away from the finals, guys. They're less than game away from the finals. They're 55 minutes and 30 seconds from the finals. Edmonton Oilers fans, can you feel it? Dallas Stars fans, are you feeling the heat? Steve Dangle's Mighty Roar. Dallas has an event going on at AAC, which would be a gong show, Game 7 for the Stanley Cup. So who do you have for Panthers versus Oilers? Click like. Oh, man. What do I say? You know what? We'll do breaking down of the Stanley Cup once we know both teams. But I'll tell you this. The Florida Panthers looked pretty poised last night. They looked pretty scary. Adam, we are waiting for feet. Please, hoping Adam will team up with Steve for the finals. It's going to be Steve in the finals, ladies and gentlemen. But don't you worry. I team up with Steve 3 times a week. 4 times if you're a VIP on the Steve Dangle podcast. And you know what else we have going on this week? I just want to throw this out there while we're waiting for this face-off. Jesse Blake, general manager of the NHL 24 Toronto Maple Leafs, is going for a Stanley Cup victory, the first in his not-so-illustrious career. He's made smart moves all the way through. But for 2 years, he played NHL 22, he played NHL 23, and he played NHL 24. And in none of those games, while he's been trying to win a cup with the Leafs, has he managed to do it. One more win for the Edmonton Oilers, and into the finals they go. One more win for the Dallas Stars, and we got a unbelievable gong show, ridiculous Game 7 on our hands. Dallas had a really, really good start. Three shots, but Zach Hyman rolled into the Edmonton offensive zone, the Dallas, he went towards Ottinger, but he went around the net, and this was interesting because there were 3 Dallas Stars players in, and there were no Edmonton Oilers players in to support him. And all he did was go around the net, tripped over Chris Tanev's stick, and they still haven't shown a replay of it. I wish they would because it's really smart hockey. He kept his feet going, Tanev to the box. Will I get in trouble? I've got my grippers out chilling. Guys, let the grips loose. You got to let it loose. Grip it up. Hit like, people. Look at everybody trying to drop them likes. You know what happens at 1,000 likes, people. You know what happens at 1,000 likes. I'm just saying. All right. Adam McCarthy, Adam Wylde, you definitely need a different wall behind you. Why? You don't like crotches? Everybody has one. Why can't we celebrate? That's my crotch. That's Jesse's crotch. We had to cover Jesse's crotch. All right? This is a kid's show. 13:51 left in the first period. Good little hit by Nurse on Seguin. I think the heat's off Nurse just a little bit after his Game 5 performance, and his Game 4 performance was pretty good too. It's hard to believe, that at one point, the Edmonton Oilers looked like they were going to be out of this series. You think about where we were at midway through after the first period of Game 4. Producer Drew put a bet on the Dallas Stars to win the series in 5 games. That's bonkers. That's crazy. Cassie, YouTube won't let me donate anymore. I hit the weekly max. Well, Cassie, I didn't even know that was a thing. And for you to even be at the weekly max, that's crazy. Thank you very much. Just so you know how much we appreciate it, Cassie. Yo, Cassie Gang. Hashtag Cassie Gang. We love you. Gripper Nation respects, loves our queen, Cassie. You think about where the Edmonton Oilers were, right? And I know we're only in the first period, but they're up 1-0 already. And the Edmonton Oilers were down, and they were out, and they were not playing good hockey at all. And then all of a sudden, they're able to turn that around. That's our Boston Pizza last Wednesday game. That was a great hockey game. Great second period. And now we're here, and it's like they just said, okay, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to have another period like that, and they haven't had a bad period since. The Edmonton Oilers have been great ever since. It's crazy. It's something that I saw a little bit in the Vancouver series. I remember, I think it was Game 4, Game 5. Edmonton was up 2-1. Vancouver were pressing, and they score and they tie it. And I think there's 2-3 minutes left in the game. And it's in Vancouver, and people are going berserk. Or Vancouver Canucks fans are going absolutely nuts, and they should. Like apoplectic, like crazy. And then the Edmonton Oilers get out on the ice. They win the opening faceoff, or they win the faceoff immediately after the goal. They get possession. Leon Draisaitl scores 25 seconds later. Air out of the building. And what I said at the time, that was a veteran team. That's a veteran move. Teams that can have that kind of heartbreak. We were this close. Only 3 minutes left in the game. The Oilers didn't say we're going to overtime. The Oilers said, we're going to finish this now. And they caught the Vancouver Canucks celebrating, caught them napping a little bit, and it's a full-blown veteran move. They did this to Dallas several times in this series. They have been down multiple goals and have come back. And it's because the Edmonton Oilers do not get down. They don't get upset. Oh, you scored on me? Okay. I've been scored on before. I'm pretty good at goal scoring. I'll figure it out. Veteran team that's been there. This is a team. I'm very excited if Edmonton does go to the final here, whether it's today or it's Tuesday. I got to tell you, that's two teams that really know the playoffs, that have really been burned by the playoffs, that have really gone to war in the playoffs. You think about Florida getting torched by the Tampa Bay Lightning after winning the best, or having one of the best seasons ever in 2022. They had an incredible year. It's still their best regular season of all time. They get torched by the Lightning. Absolutely blew them out of the building, right? Then last year, they're not even a factor. No one's talking about them going to the postseason. Alex Lyon is starting when they start to play the Boston Bruins. And then Bobrovsky decides, okay, I'm going to play now. And I'm going to win now. And they go all the way to the finals, and their best player breaks his sternum, or whatever it was that Tkachuk broke. Couldn't get out of bed without his brother's help. Still straps on skates. Still goes and plays. By the way, Dallas is on the power play right now. And then you look at the Oilers. I mean, I remember the first time the Oilers made the playoffs with McDavid, Cam Talbot was the goalie. He had a great year. They go to the second round against San Jose. Next year, they don't make the playoffs. It's a disaster. Oh, Cassie just gifted 50 subs from her friend's account. Thank you, Cassie, and thank you, Alex Miller's account. What? Hashtag Cassie Gang. Does it again. So I'm talking about the Oilers. I'm talking about a team that at one point 3-4 years ago has the worst special teams in NHL history. Had it finished that bad, I believe at one point their penalty kill was like 50%. It's outrageous. It's not even possible. Oh, here we go. Good save by Stuart Skinner. Nice little cross-ice pass there by that Stankoven line that has looked dangerous. Really looked good at points of this series. Obviously, it's power play, but they are a very, very good line. Wow. And there's Heiskanen with the shot. They're just showing the replay. Yeah. Edmonton's doing a great job killing this penalty. Stankoven does not have an angle there. Good for Ekholm, too, to kind of cut him off. Dallas wins the faceoff. Matt Duchene. Shot goes off Henrique. Henrique's been big for the Edmonton Oilers in this power play. Broke up a play. It's nice to have him back. What a great pickup him and Sam Steele were from the Anaheim Ducks. Again, not talked about enough. That's become one of the more consequential trades of the trade deadline. Isn't that funny? 2 centers in one trade, and they're both playing. Sorry, why did I say Sam Steele? Dummy. Well, Sam Steele's playing, but I just think it's interesting. Henrique. I feel like Henrique's going to make a lot of money this summer, just based on how he's played in this series. I'm going to throw that out there. Anyway, the Edmonton Oilers have been through everything. Everything. They've been told for years and years and years they won't get it done. Bad goaltending. Stuart Skinner with a big save there. And now it just feels like the best players on the Edmonton Oilers know. It's like a switch was flicked. They were 31st in the league 200 days ago, guys. Here we go. We got an open Oiler. Here we go. Oh, Janmark almost had one. Nice little setup by Derek Ryan. Wow. Oh, that was good. Janmark already with a goal this series on shorthanded. Wow. Got to say, Janmark, Ryan, Connor Brown. Feels like there's something cooking there. Ever since Henrique came back, this Oilers team's just looked that much better. You know, you almost wonder if against the Canucks, the series would have been over a little bit earlier if he'd been in the lineup, because it's just allowed them so many more options about spreading talent around the lineup. And they just come at you in waves. And even when you have Ryan, Janmark, and Connor Brown out there, they all have speed. There's legs there. Draisaitl with that beautiful shot. He's always at that kind of weird side angle that he's able to score on. Only he can do it. And he hasn't scored one from there this series, if I'm not mistaken. But damn, he really lit the Canucks up from the corner. Anyway, this Panthers team that's in the finals, they've been through it. This Oilers team that's been through that could potentially go to the finals tonight, they've been through it. They are getting outshot. It's 5-1. Dallas Edmonton shots. Just saying. And listen, let's talk about this Dallas team for a second. 8:34 left in the first period. This Dallas team is very different from the Dallas team that almost half a decade ago, can you believe it's been that long, in 2020, went to the finals and lost to the Tampa Bay Lightning. That Dallas team had some issues. Very famously, earlier in that season, Jim Nill had lost it on the team in front of a reporter. They couldn't score, but damn, they could play some good defense. John Klingberg was an absolute stud for them, but they just couldn't score a lot of goals. And since then, guys like Ben and Seguin have become older, wiser, but they're not carrying this team anymore the way that they used to. It's guys like Robertson. It's new guys like Stankoven who will in the future. And this team is far more offense-driven than it used to be under Rick Bowness. Here goes McDavid. Nice little spinorama. Dallas is all over him. Bouchard from the point with a shot. Shot is blocked. Matthias Ekholm down deep. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, two goals last game on the power play. Real Game 5 hero for the Edmonton Oilers. Finally got that power play monkey off their back. Oh, we got a one-on-one here. Dallas Stars. And Stuart Skinner with a good save there. Yeah, the best part about these teams, honestly, is the fact that they've all the three that are left have all really gone through it. And Dallas, I think, has gone through the craziest transformation. They were really good but couldn't score. And now they're really good and can score, but maybe don't defend the way they used to. And remember, in 2020, that was the emergence of some guy. Well, no, actually, no, it wasn't. Jake Ottinger wasn't around for that, was he? That wasn't them. That's right. Jake Ottinger came along later. He did play 2 games in the playoffs, but I believe those were pulls. It was 21-22. That's when he came on. And Dallas looked so good. Otter played 7 games in that, and he lost 4 of them. But he only had a he had a .954 save percentage. Didn't win that series. Isn't that crazy? Wiggleman gifted 1 SGPN membership. Thank you, Wiggleman. Oilers have 26 straight successful penalty kills. Jeremy, I believe that is a new record. That is a franchise record. I've got confirmation from Stats God, producer Hayden. All right, hang on. Cassie, celebrating my birthday Saturday, so I will miss that stream. Well, that's okay, Cassie. It's only game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals with Steve Dangle. The Florida Panthers and who? You got to ask. You got to ask the question. What was the best team not to win the Cup in the last 20 years, in your opinion? I'll say the 2020 Dallas Stars were pretty good. Let's have a look. Let's go through. Stanley Cup Finals past. All right. Let's see. All right. Now, going through here. Stanley Cup Finals. I'm looking them all up. I just want to make sure I get it all right. Let me see. Best Stanley Cup team not to win. Maybe the Lundqvist Rangers. They should have probably won, right? The Lundqvist Rangers have got to be up there. Now, are they a team that's never won? Because there are teams that get into the finals. Like you look at the 2008 Pittsburgh Penguins. I think they won in 2009. They were an amazing team. But they did end up winning. If we're going to go with like overall team structure, I think maybe the San Jose Sharks. The San Jose Sharks were so good for so long, and they really only got that 1 finals appearance, and they lost in 6. It's honestly criminal that team never won. But you have to win. You have to win. Daniel says 2019 Bruins. I don't know. The 07 Senators? No. The 07 Senators got caved by the Anaheim Ducks. Absolutely got crushed. If the Oilers go to the final and Stuart Skinner is Stuart Skinner the worst starter since Darcy Kemper? I mean, listen, are we I think most teams go to the finals with a pretty good goaltender. But say what you want about Stuart Skinner, if he gets them there, like, I don't know. People said the same thing about Holtby, and then all of a sudden he won a Stanley Cup, and Vancouver's like, we must sign this man. Well, we must sign him to the worst contract. S. John gifted 5 SDPN memberships. Thank you, S. John. 07 Ducks won, Hank Barber. We're talking about teams that did not win, but were the best teams that did not win. I think Sharks are on that list. I think Rangers are on that list. Oh, here we go. Ooh, Cody Ceci almost with a toe drag, baby. Edmonton has really come back, too, in shots. I think we got an Oilers power play coming up here. Evander Kane to the dressing room here after he hit Petrovic into the bench, and then what happened? Look at Cody Ceci here. Cody Ceci with the buzz. That was a very Cody Ceci play. Where did I miss? Ontario's Most Haunted. Just about to leave from Windsor to Georgetown. We'll have you playing in the background for my drive home. Hashtag Let's Go Oilers. Hashtag Cassie Gang. Yes, Ontario's most haunted. That's right. 2023 Bruins were pretty good. They were pretty good, but they weren't playoff good. If they were playoff good, they would have got past the Florida Panthers, although the Florida Panthers were playoff great. Okay, let's see. By the way, I love that people are bringing up the 93 Leafs. Last 20 years. Guys, the 93 Leafs, that was 31 years ago. It's a long time. Isn't that crazy? Adam, in your opinion, what's the best team to win the Stanley Cup this century? I think it's got to be... There's a couple of teams that are amazing. Look at the 2002 Detroit Red Wings, and how many Hall of Famers are on that list. Look at the is it 07 Detroit or 08 Detroit that beat Penguins? And then the next year, look at that Penguins team. And, everybody hates the Blackhawks for that era because of what happened behind the scenes. And, I don't blame you. But remember when Duncan Keith and Brent Seabrook were the A and B best defensemen in the league? Remember how dominant they were? When Patrick Kane was like a young man, and Jonathan Toews and Brandon Saad, and those were crazy teams. LA was crazy. So I'm going to say 2002 Red Wings because most of them are in the Hall of Fame now, and it's easy. It's an easy pick. I think the 2011 Bruins were pretty damn good too. You think about like Prime Chara and Lucic and Marchand being young, and Bergeron, and wow. And Tim Thomas, and by the way, Tuukka Rask is your backup. He's your second best. Here comes McDavid driving the net again. Woo! I lied to you about the shots, by the way. I think I was looking at hits. 6-2 are the shots for Dallas. Doesn't matter, though. Edmonton's up 1-0. Michael Lynn Jr., 2004 Flames. You know what? Great team. Fundamentally, I would say flawed. If you go back and you watch, they were a Cinderella story. And they really rode Mika Kiprusoff, as you should. Mika Kiprusoff, you go back and you look at some of his stats, there were seasons where that guy had a less than 2 goals against average. What are you supposed to do with that? It's actually a wonder that those Flames teams didn't do more. Oh, almost a goal there. I think that was Zach Hyman walking in. 47 seconds left on the power play. Here's Hyman. Shot. Scores, baby! Zach Hyman! Who called it? That's right. Justin, drop those subs in the chat, baby. Zach Hyman is a goal scorer, baby! Woo! And Zach Hyman played a huge role in the first goal going in because he's the one that drew the penalty, and he was the one distracting Ottinger when McDavid drove the net to score against him. And now, boom, it's McDavid to Hyman. Look at what McDavid does here to Tanev. A little bit of a turnover, and then gets it to Hyman, and then Hyman does exactly what McDavid does. Okay, so on the play, I guess that wasn't the one. That wasn't the one. So there's McDavid. That's the one I'm looking for. Hyman in goal. Wow. You know what I love about Hyman too? Blocker side. He went inside post on that. Dirty, baby. Justin Fisher, thank you for dropping your subs. If you just got a membership, you can thank Justin Fisher for it. 14th goal of the playoffs. I think that's 17 or 18 games. Corrigan Archangel. Damn, is that your last name, Archangel? 10 gifted subs. Thank you so much. Guys, this Oilers team, are they inevitable? 3:41 left in the first period. It's been all Hyman McDavid. And when that is happening, it sends a shiver down the spine of every defense core in the league. Oh, Stuart Skinner almost got fooled. Matt Duchene, if he kept that puck a little bit low. Woo! Woo! Stuart Skinner has been tested a little bit in this first period. Not crazy. They haven't got like a ton of bodies to the net, but there have been a couple moments. Dallas hasn't converted. And it's something that's been really noticeable. by the Dallas Stars over the last few games. They need to get bodies in front of Stuart Skinner. It's the only way to score on him. The book is out. Everybody knows how to score on Stuart Skinner. The problem is not everybody's figured out how to solve the Edmonton Oilers defense, which on paper doesn't look unsolvable. But the way that Knobloch has deployed them, especially since breaking up CC Nurse, and I go back to this all the time, I actually really like what Kulak and Nurse did together last game too. Gives them a little bit more mobility. Damn. Proximal in the stand. Zachary on the attackery. Indeed. Oh, baby. Listen, guys, this is a party. This is awesome. We need a Nurse CC pairing. It's a must. You must be a Dallas Stars fan. And don't forget to like the stream. It costs you nothing and gets you feet. Gripper Nation. Here, because I was just talking about Kulak and now he's in the box. And listen, let's be honest. He did deserve that penalty, but Dallas were due. They were due. We can admit that. We know how this is all reffed. There's going to be even penalties tonight. Edmonton will go to the box again. But here's the thing about the Edmonton penalty kill is it's been perfect in this series so far. Absolutely ice. It's crazy, actually, because you think with the weapons down, like, okay, imagine this. Imagine Adam Wylde, hot take artist, on the Steve Dangle podcast before this series starts. Imagine I say to you, with a straight face, Dallas will not score a power play goal this series. Steve and Jesse would have laughed my ass out of the room. That's how improbable it is. That even my ridiculous hot take, actually, in fact, I would probably take away from it. It's so ridiculous. What a crazy thought. Here we are. We're looking at it. It's game 6, and even if Dallas scores here, they went through 5 games without doing it. Feels very leafy. Got a couple super chats. Steve Dangle. Watching a team star and former Leaf coming up big through the playoffs makes me mad. Well, listen, and Sedin Magic 15, you'd like to have a save there by Ottinger. I don't know. I think that was a good move by Hyman. I think he beat him on the blocker side. If you watch D2 Mighty Ducks, you know that most people like to get fancy and go glove side, like Gunnar Stahl. But Zach Hyman isn't fancy. Oh, we got bodies finally in front of Stuart Skinner. I almost called him Jeff. Didn't, though. Didn't call him Jeff. His name is not Jeff. It is Stuart. Whoa! Broken up by Cody Ceci. I understand why Steve's a little upset. Here's the thing. The Edmonton Oilers have done a good job, at least in the last series, of putting Cody Ceci in positions where he can succeed. The Toronto Maple Leafs said, Cody Ceci, you are a number 1 defenseman with Morgan Riley. You're a first pairing guy. The Edmonton Oilers have not been that stupid this year. And then the Leafs were like, hey, he played great for us. Don't think so. How could he? It's like asking me to complete a calculus test. And then me failing and them going, you did great. Can't do it. It's not what I'm built for. But Cece's been very useful for the Oilers this series. And he scored a goal because Paul Coffey asked him to shoot more. John Acosta. So Oilers, huh? It's looking a little Oilerish right now. But I will say this, as the Oilers kill the penalty, another one in this series, they are still perfect on the PK. I believe that's 27 consecutive PKs now that they've killed. 27 straight penalty kills that the Oilers have killed. Can I just throw that out there? How crazy that is? Anyway, I want to say this. Whichever team in this series has won the second period has won the game. Game 1, it was Edmonton. Game 2 and 3, it was Dallas. And every single time, and I mean this, there have been leads built up by the other team. They come out flat in the second period, and that has been the deciding factor in the game. So it's great that the Oilers are up 2-0, despite having 3 shots. Yeah, maybe you do need a save from Ottinger. Maybe you have a good point, Sedin Magic. The end of the day, it's going to come down to how the Oilers come out in the second period and how the Dallas Stars come out and who wins. Pete DeBoer's got to make some adjustments here. They are just not getting the bodies on Stuart Skinner. You can talk about the shots that they have. Most of them have been chest shots. Not a lot of rebounds like what we just saw there. Not a lot of bodies on Stuart Skinner like we just saw there. And we got 2.5 seconds left in the period. It is too late to do too much. Although, respect to Sam Steele, I think he's giving up like 6 or 7 inches on Darnell Nurse there. Now, S. John. Adam, if you could cover one sport besides hockey and F1, what would it be? Is a good question. What would I want to do? Think about that. So no hockey and I'm going to assume no auto racing at all. That's a really, really good question. I think the sport I know the most about next would be either baseball or football. You know what? Screw it. NFL. I'd have to be a lot smarter than what I am, though. I grew up loving the NFL. I'm a Steelers fan. They're the first team I ever cheered for that won a championship, 2006, baby. But I do want to say that I don't know football like football fanatics know football. And a lot of that comes down to the fact that for the last 11 years, I've been devoting most of my winters to hockey and getting to learn the sport. It's very, very, it's hard to get this deep. Are either of these teams taking the Panthers, and how? Wiggleman. Yeah, I think they can. It's going to come down to this. So here's a big factor. Let's say it's the Oilers. The Oilers have to get 10 out of 10 Corey Perry worm behavior. You need Darnell Nurse to crush some bodies. Maybe Vinny Desharnais gets into a couple of games because he's just big and brutish, but he's got to use his size and he's got to crush guys. You got to have your shitheads be like super shithead. Evander Kane, he can't be hurt. You can't have him hurt. You need him being aggressive. Because Kachuk's going right after McDavid. Sam Bennett is going right after Draisaitl. They're gonna do it. And I don't think the Oilers have had a lot of targeting in the playoffs. The Panthers will target you. They will target your head. They will target your wrists. They'll slash you. They'll do anything they can to take you not just out of the game, but out of the series. So you got to kind of look for that. And Stuart Skinner better be prepared because they're going to run him over and over and over again. You saw Shesterkin pushing guys and shoving. You know what I mean? It's going to happen. For the Dallas Stars, if they get in, again, I think the same thing. This series has been pretty gentlemanly. There hasn't been a lot of hatred in this series. There isn't a lot of pushing and shoving after the whistle. And it's not really Dallas's game to get into that shit. And I think Florida actually is a pretty solid matchup against, if you're a Florida Panther fan, you're probably hoping for Dallas because that there's a bunch of young players on the Dallas Stars who are not used to this, who don't really have to deal with this shit on a regular basis. And you can mess them up. You can get inside their heads. You can get them frustrated, get them taking retaliatory penalties. They're small. They're a more finesse team. Who on the Dallas Stars is going to fight Ryan Lomberg? Ryan Lomberg, who's, by the way, 5'9" and a lunatic. Who's going to fight him? Anyway, grumpy old madman. Adam, your thoughts on Marner to LA for Pierre-Luc Dubois, a second and a third? Thanks for the show. No. No chance. Don't want him. Love. You know what? I want to tell you something. As much as I think Marner's going to get traded this offseason, I still like Mitch Marner a lot. I've liked Pierre-Luc Dubois less and less and less with every trade. And it's not just the way he played this year. It's the fact that, I repeat this story often, but we were in Montreal for the draft when Slafkovsky was drafted. And you know who else was there? Dubois and his agent, because he thought he was getting traded to Montreal and he was super mad and disappointed that he didn't get traded there. And he had just got to Winnipeg. This guy's requested and pushed his way out of 2 markets. He finally goes to one of the best markets in the league, Los Angeles, baby. 2-time Stanley Cup winning team, miracle on Manchester, Second home of Wayne Gretzky, the first home being Edmonton. Can't take that away from them. And this guy does nothing. And I know he had a coach fired midway through the year and stuff like that, but bad. There's no excuse for him playing on the fourth line. So no, I do not want Pierre-Luc Dubois to be playing for the Leafs. I hope he has a good season, but I'm not a fan. And, I have seen him play well. I'll tell you, you're a Jets fan, and PLD in the playoffs for you, he played great. Like, he earned that contract. Last year, nobody batted an eye at LA signing that deal or making that trade. Nobody. But, that's a Marc Bergevin thing. And when you hire Marc Bergevin, you get what you pay for. It's a John Day. Jeff versus Jeff in the Jeff Stern Conference. Jeff Skinner. Stop it. We're not saying Jeff Skinner today. We're saying Stuart Skinner. Okay, now I'm going to run a quick clip. I'm going to get a coffee. And here we go. CJ Show with one of the free agent stories of the summer. Will Steven Stamkos stay in Tampa? And what will Carolina do with Marty Necas, one of the most interesting guys available for trade, apparently, right now? Have a look.
Stamkos obviously hoping to remain a member of the Lightning, but, it's not as simple as that. We've seen Tampa lose a number of players due to the free agent squeeze, and they've, since traded for Ryan McDonagh again, which, is another $6.75 million added to their cap sheet. Very good player, but it seems to me that they're going to have to make other moves, maybe not even just for Stamkos. I mean, just as part of the due course of building out the team. And so can they get all that done in the next, it's under 5 weeks till July 1st, which is pretty crazy. Get your Canada Day plans ready. And for those of us in the hockey media, that's a pretty big day in terms of counting down to a little bit of a break. So, I think that one's kind of, I'd just say ongoing, but unclear how it's all going to fall out. And, I'm fascinated to see. I mean, one part of me is the sentimentalist in me is like, man, it's just hard to imagine Stamkos playing anywhere else and all that. But if he actually, if gets to free agency, I mean, it'd be pretty interesting to learn which teams, really prioritize him, make a strong pitch, what he prioritizes in this. I mean, this is a guy that's really got nothing to prove, right? He's got his 2 Stanley Cups and 500 plus goals, 500 plus assists. I mean, just a tremendous career. And so it's I'm sure a partly lifestyle decision for him and his family, but does he really want to chase a cup? Is it about, maximizing his earning potential? All those things. I don't know how that would fall. And I don't think his mind's quite there just yet. So, in terms of the names right at the top, that's sort of where we're at it. As I mentioned, Reinhart, he's still playing. I think he'd like to remain in Florida. Florida would like to keep him, but not a lot of time to negotiate when you're preparing for a game in the Eastern Conference Final.
Okay. I had a question about number 5 on the list, Brady Shea. I wonder what his situation will be, and I think this could also be a good way to loop in the Marty Necas angle to this as well, because it seems as if with Necas possibly being available, teams are checking in on him, and I've heard from Pierre LeBrun say that maybe Carolina would want an established player. Would it make sense, say, like, if Carolina realizes, you know what, Brady Shea, it might be a bit too expensive, we let him go to market, they would want an established defenseman in return for Marty Necas? Am I galaxy braining this a little bit?
No, I don't think they're locked in that it has to be a defenseman, but it makes a lot of sense. I mean, in addition to Brady Shea, they've got Brett Pesce, who's a UFA and likely to depart as a free agent. So, the Hurricanes, for sort of some of the stability they've had, certainly the consistent regular season success and even early playoff success they've had, they're poised here, I think, to turn over a decent part of their roster between even guys like Jordan Martinook's a UFA, Teuvo Teravainen as well. I mean, there's a lot of different players that could walk out the door, Gensel, and they're also looking at possibly trading Marty Necas. So I think where they've established the bar is they want an established player, call it as you will, star-like quality. I mean, that's in the eye of the beholder, of course. I mean, Marty Necas has a fantastic package of skills, but he had 53 points last season. I don't know if we classify that as star level, exactly. And I think there's a lot that goes into that. I think a big part of that is why he's maybe welcoming or looking forward to the possibility of a new home. So I don't think you're galaxy braining it. Shea's going to get a monster contract. I mean, I don't think it's a stretch to to see him getting something like 7x7-ish on the market, something in that range. If he becomes, a total UFA and has the whole league to bid on his services. I mean, really useful player, put up a lot of points. Underlying numbers are strong. I mean, I just think that he's probably between him or Pesci or maybe Matt Roy in LA. I mean, that's probably the group of defensemen at the top of the free agent class. I mean, some of that is stylistic. They're not all, obviously they're not apples to apples in terms of what they bring a blue line, but I'm just talking in terms of, defensemen, Chris Tanev as well, should mention, who you can probably plug into a top four on most teams, who can, have played a lot of minutes and who are in the right age band, especially the first three guys I mentioned, to give a longer term deal to. So, I don't know how it's all going to shake out in Carolina. They do things their own way. And as much as that can be panned, I think makes them interesting. And it seems to me that, Tom Dundon's operating philosophy has been, if you don't want to be here, he's fine to let people walk out the door. He was fine to let Don Waddell leave. He was fine to let Don Waddell interview for the GM job in Minnesota years ago, and he still, retained his title ultimately as Hurricanes GM. So, it does seem to me that they value the players at a certain spot, and if you want more, then go somewhere else. And as a result of that, they got tons of cap space. They're an interesting team when it comes to trades. They have a big trade piece in Necas who has drawn a ton of interest right now, and they can also go out and sign other free agents as well. So I think that they have to be one of the main teams to watch, just because they have all of the elements there where they're obviously trying to win still, and they've got some notable guys likely headed out the door, and then the ability to bring some notable players back in to try and replace them. And, for Necas, it sounds like, a lot of interest, whether it's Montreal's called on him, Boston, Nashville. I really think a lot of teams looking to upgrade themselves offensively see a player that maybe they could use a little differently than the Hurricanes did, that's maybe poised for a step forward, that could benefit from a fresh start. And, it sounds like if that deal gets done here, it's going to be a hockey type trade versus just, dumping a bunch of future assets for Marty Necas.
Oh, and we didn't even mention the fact that Eric Tulsky, who is now the interim GM in wake of Don Waddell leaving, that's the man in charge of the Carolina Hurricanes offseason. You get dumped into, not necessarily dumped. It's not as if you came in from a different organization, but still getting promoted to this situation. That is another angle to follow.
Sure. And look, Tulsky was extremely involved in the decision-making that happened already on their hockey operations decisions. Where this is different is now he's the point person on those conversations with other GMs. It's not just him analyzing what might be good or bad. It's actually kind of being in the trenches, for lack of a better way to put it, to, mucking around, trying to get the deal to a certain spot, dealing with, I'm sure he's been around the league long enough. Tulsky must have relationships with a lot of these people, but maybe not, certainly not to the level Don Waddell did, just given how much more tenure he has in the NHL and has dealt with all the other GMs, for 20 years instead of, now 2 weeks. So, that'll be, you're right. It's interesting, but I'll say this, Carolina have not lost many trades in the last number of years. Every team's going to miss on the odd player or make a bad decision. I just think that, even the best teams are in that sort of position, but they've done a really nice job, and Tulsky's been part of that front office and part of a lot of those decisions. And that's why, look, they're our chaos team. Honestly, I think that they're the team that can really shake things up here between now and the draft. Because I just think that they got a lot of moving parts and the new GM and it would appear right now, probably the best trade piece, I'd say. It's not to say there aren't better players that might end up getting traded, but I think it's pretty clear that Necas is very available. Whereas some other players, we'll see where it ends up. I think teams are listening on their guys, but aren't as committed to moving them. Whereas, it sounds like Necas, really wants a fresh start. And I think the organization is willing to try to give that to him if they can make a deal they deem fair.
So what do we think? What do we think about Necas? What do we think about Stammer? I still think it's a way better story if Stamkos goes. Like, as an agent of chaos, I think it's cool to see. It'd be cool to see him go just for the story. But I mean, I'll be honest. The nostalgia factor for moi about him and Tampa, it would seem wrong. It's going to feel like Medano wearing a Detroit jersey. It's going to feel wrong, right? So he'll probably stay. But Nietzsche's, man, what a compelling player. The Calgary Flames angle there is the crazy one. And if you've missed the talk about it, Nietzsche was the centerpiece of the deal that would have sent Matthew Tkachuk to Carolina. And you think about how different history would be. What are the Florida Panthers? Is Andrew Brunette the coach still in Florida? Is Paul Maurice hired if Matthew Tkachuk is there? Do they play like this? Does Bobrovsky have this crazy career resurgence at 34 years old after a bad regular season and ride this team all the way to the finals? I don't think any of that stuff happens. And how different are the Carolina Hurricanes with Matthew Tkachuk running roughshod for them? And then on top of that, Marty Nietzsche, as much as, listen, we'll look at Huberdeau, and I still maintain that Huberdeau making what he makes has everything to do with the fact that he had 72 assists that year. It was crazy. He had a crazy year. And so, okay, what was Brad Treliving going to do? He traded for him. He was forced to trade. Do you bring back the guy that has 72 assists? You just made it to the second round. Your window, you believe, is right now. You got Markstrom. You got a really good defense core. How could you not score with a guy that gets 72 assists? And yet, they didn't. They didn't. And Murray Edwards is, I think plays a big role in Calgary. Murray's their owner or their majority share owner. So I think that plays into it as well. Maybe Nietzsche was considered too young or whatever, but damn, how different the future would have been. Can you imagine? By the way, this is a producer Hayden. In the last 134 minutes and 33 seconds of the Western Conference Final, the aggregate score is 10-1 for the Edmonton Oilers. Why 134 minutes, I wonder? I'm going to tweet CJ. Where's reporter Chris? I'm going to tweet him. Here we go. Is there anything... So that's 134 minutes is how many periods? That is 60 minutes. I guess that counts the overtime game, right? Does that count the overtime game? No. I can't even remember anymore. Anyway. It's after Dallas scored the second goal in Game 4. There you go. Thank you, Matthew Townsend. And we were talking about that earlier. What a crazy turnaround the Oilers had. That was our Boston Pizza Show night. Telling you. Wow. Full send Stammer to the Leafs. I don't think Stamkos is coming here. He had his chance, and I get why he stayed. And look how it worked out for him. 3 Stanley Cup Final appearances, 2 cups. Dude, he made the right call. I do wonder what the Leafs would look like with him on them versus Tavares, because he would have been the captain. And by the way, I say that as a fan of Johnny T. I do like Johnny Toronto. Stamkos and Crosby in Colorado. That would be interesting. Dude, if Crosby ever left Colorado, there are 2 teams I'd love to see him play. Or sorry, if he ever left Pittsburgh, I'd love to see him play in Colorado with Nathan. But I also kind of think it would be fun if, for whatever reason, the Montreal Canadiens could surprise people next year. You always get some young team that surprises. And then Sid plays another year in Pittsburgh, probably doesn't go well. And then he's like, okay, maybe I'm open to it. And the Montreal Canadiens, with a ton of young assets and draft picks, can jumpstart the Pittsburgh Penguins and their rebuild, right? And Crosby goes to the Montreal Canadiens for the last 2-3 years of his career. His childhood favorite team. Just saying. Be a cool story. Listen, I'd rather him play for the Leafs, but I don't think that's an option. So in the interest of that, in the interest of content, Crosby to the Habs. Let's go. 1946. We got a second period underway. Dallas has outshot the Edmonton Oilers by 4. 12-3. 4 times is what I mean. Not by 4. 4 times as many shots. And honestly, a lot of them have been, saucer to the chest of Stuart Skinner. Oh, that one got behind, though. Oh, baby, Jamie Benn almost got one there. Remember, the team that wins the second period in this series wins the game. It's happened every single time. And let me say, I had producer Hayden look this up in the intermission. blown 2-goal leads. There have been 3 in this series already. Now you might say, well, Adam, it's 6 games. That's every other game, somebody blows a 2-goal lead. And it's interesting because it's always 2 goals. And if you go back that 134 minutes, probably now 135 minutes that CJ was talking about, Dallas had a 2-goal lead. And Edmonton came back and said, I don't think so, man. I don't know. It's there's something to it. Now, does Edmonton buck that trend, as they have with many things in this series? They're the first team to score a power play goal in this series. Oh, here comes McDavid looking fast, past Heiskanen. Nobody up with him, but 4 Dallas Stars all over him. And he still gets the shot. By the way, we had every once in a while I'm talking here and I'm loud enough, and there's like a Siri that goes off in the background. It's really weird. A little bit creepy. Grumpy old madman, LOL, thought that might get a rant. However, there's 2 sides to every story. Also, a little respect for a man who just played for your country. Interested in Captain John Tavares' opinion. That's Grumpy old madman. Super chat that I missed. Sorry, Grumpy old madman. I think John Tavares was rejuvenated by the World Championships. I don't think there's any way he's going anywhere. And I think July 2nd, he signs an extension for term and really cheap dollars to stay in Toronto for the next 3 to 4 years. That's what I think is happening with Tavares. He's not moving. Steve Dangle in the super chat. Zach Hyman, 14 goals in 17 and a half games in these playoffs. Mitch Marner, 11 goals in 57 career playoff games. Steven, why must? You don't need to. You didn't need to do that. I think Julian McKenzie said it in our CJ show chat perfectly. He's like, the playoffs are just Leaf fans finding stats and then stabbing themselves with them. And I thought that was very true. Here we go. Edmonton. McDavid. Oh, he missed the net. Oh, baby. Wrap around. Oiler behind Ottinger. Oh, man. I thought McDavid had his second goal there. Woo-hoo-hoo! Woo! Aaron Grace. Now do Hyman's Leaf playoff numbers? I would like to know that. Probably not great. Although I have to be honest, not exactly fair to Zach Hyman. He blew a knee in the Boston series, and they kept playing him and made him play center on the PK because Mike Babcock, aside from being a psychopath off the ice with people, alleged psychopath off the ice with people, also made really bad decisions. That's the thing people forget about Mike Babcock, but Detroit fans know. Mike Babcock made a ton of bad decisions. Bad matchup decisions, stupid ideas that never worked. But a man with an ego cannot be stopped. Oh, Maverick Bourque getting things going for the Dallas Stars. We talked about him a little bit. 77 points in 71 AHL games this year. One of the things that people forget about the AHL is they think it's easy. It's actually a very, very tough league. A lot of tough guys in it who are trying to crack NHL lineups. So you get a lot of guys like Maverick Bourque who are young and smaller or finesse players. And then you get these freaking animals who are like, I need to get my 6 games in the show. How do I get on someone's radar? Let me target their big boys. And for players to get a point a game in the AHL, it's actually extremely impressive. So the fact that he did, good for him. Good for him. Action Jackson, your feed is ahead of Sportsnet. Well, I'm right in line with I'm on Shaw Ignite. So that's the one I'm using. Now, if you were to tell me that it's superior to Sportsnet, I could listen to that. Hello, Sportsnet execs watching. Coffee's hot, baby. This is one of our Nashville, Tennessee mugs from the draft last year. By the way, be on the lookout. We're going to be doing a draft stream for the first round. It's going to be a party. I was reading an article that came out May 24th saying Mitch had no interest in waiving his no move. I don't know who reported that, but there is no indication one way or the other. So anybody reporting that is wrong. They're wrong. And I know that. Hasn't been discussed. Will be discussed. Apparently I missed a super chat. Is it from Steve Dangle? It's not. Oh, it's from Duke Ding Ding. Hello, Duke Ding Ding. What kind of foot stuff we getting into tonight? Well, listen, Duke. Nothing till we hit 1,000 likes. Nothing till we hit 1,000 likes. Duke Ding Ding. Okay? So you tell me what kind of foot stuff you want to do. Gripper Nation. 15-12 left in the second period. Dallas has come out flying, although Edmonton's got the better chances, I would say. McDavid, for sure, almost had a goal and has looked real good tonight alongside Zach Hyman. It's been a really great night for the Edmonton Oilers. Looking at least for the chances that they do get, the Edmonton Oilers seem to be making the best of them. And a lot of them have been shots that just go wide. So maybe I'd love to see the actual scoring chances created rather than the shots. I wish they showed that on the bug. I don't know if anybody's got access to that right now, but I'll tell you something. I feel like it's a little more even than what we're seeing on the screen right now in terms of actual shots counted. Oh, are we like spiking right now? 478, not bad. 14-12 left in the second period. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Adam Henrique. I think Nuge is going off for the change there. Henrique deep. He's been key for the Oilers since coming back. Great on the PK. Nice little goal in game 3 or game 4 on a setup from Connor Brown. I think it was game 3, actually. They lost that game, but I can't get that goal out of my head. And by the way, when Connor Brown scores, whether it's a goal or an assist, he like yelps. He's like a puppy. He's like, argh! So excited. So pumped. He's had a tough year, but he's looked real good in these playoffs. Big save by Stuart Skinner, and he manages the rebound really well as well. And that is key because Marchment was right there on the doorstep, exactly where you'd want him to be if you're a Dallas Stars fan, ready to put that away. Nice little save by our boy, Stuart Skinner. Oh, it was Sagan. It was Sagan. Never mind. Just saying. A little spicy there, Oilers fans. They're looking a little flat. Listen, it's not been a great start to the second period for the Oilers except for that McDavid line. Just saying. I'm just going to chug this coffee. Guys, I'm not going to lie. 2 goals. My name is Jeff. Jeff, let's you guys are trying to make me say Jeff Skinner. It's Stuart Skinner. Jeff Skinner hasn't played in the playoffs yet, but damn it, he deserves to. Jacqueline K. Dallas keeping the pressure on. Yes, Jacqueline. Yes, Jacqueline. If there are at least 200 of us, the number should not reach it until the stream ends. 529. Okay. Listen. Gripper content starts at 1,000. You know what happens at 1,500 and you know what happens at 2,000, right? 1,500 double grip. 2,000, we'll have to come up with something. You get me that many likes? We're cooking, baby. But it is Jeff Skinner. No Meme Empress. I called you Meme Express every time. It's Meme Empress. No, it isn't. Dean Thibodeau. I can't wait for Adam's VIP breakdown of the Jeremy Renner app. Guys, if you're a new member of SDP VIP, first off, go check the VIP episodes out. They're awesome. They're all non-hockey, hilarious. But guys, I'm going to do a little breakdown of one of the greatest pop culture moments in history, unfortunately, erased by the pandemic. One of the greatest, I don't know if you know this, but Jeremy Renner, the Archer guy from the Avengers, whatever, was it Hawkeye? Hawkeye? I don't know. I got bored with the Avengers after a few movies. Hawkeye is weird. He's weird. He's weird. Started his own social media app. The responses were incredible. They're amazing. It's very much, though, 18 plus. I will throw that out there. 13:36 left in the second period. Oilers driving the zone with Draisaitl out front of McLeod. Broken up. Dallas turns it back the other way. In comes Duchesne. Producer Drew's favorite player. Loves a Matt Duchesne. As a Colorado fan, who couldn't love Matt Duchesne? Who wouldn't love Matt Duchesne? McLeod up. We're going to get a change here. Oilers second line going off. Lindell is out there with Tanev. That's interesting. They were broken up the last couple of games because they were not great. Harley and Tanev are the pairings tonight with Lindell and Heiskanen, and Suter and Petrovic have been together all series. Crushing coffees. Feeling good on a Sunday night. Adam, how dare you? We Abs fans resent him. We disowned him. No. You mean soon to be potentially? Listen, does it get you mad, Abs fans, that Duchesne had a more successful playoff this year than you? And you'll be like, we won the cup. Yeah, but you didn't win the cup this year. Duchesne's closer to the cup than you are. What if Duchesne leads the comeback, Abs fans, against the Edmonton Oilers? What if it's all Matt Duchesne? And by the way, it's Matt Duchesne's fault that we have video review across the league for offsides. It is his fault. You should look it up. It's painful, actually, when you see it. Don't know how the linesman missed it. Again, I told you, they're useless. 17-6 are the shots for Dallas now. But again, I feel like scoring chances have to be a little closer to even. Dallas has had a really good start to this period, though, and I have mentioned this. You win the second period in this series, you win the game. Each team that's won the second period has won the game. Odessa, the douche, I won't call him the douche. The douche comeback redemption arc would be awesome. Just saying. 4K likes during a Stanley Cup Final stream and Steve paints Adam's toenails. I don't know if Steve's still watching the stream, but if we could get, listen, I would do that if we got 1,000 subscribers, 1,000 paid subscribers on one stream. And I would be like, it would be like involved. Like I could go, like you're talking, you do all 10 toenails. I'll get a pedicure and everything. Whatever you need. Paint them toes, Steve. Adam, follow European soccer more. It's low-key fantastic. Don't root for Manchester or Real Madrid. Okay, I do want to talk about this on one of my streams. You know, I will be doing streams, by the way, after the playoffs, too. Like, I'm going to do some other stuff. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to figure it out. Maybe do some Fallout or video game stream. I don't know. But what I will tell you is I still have yet to make up my mind on which team I need to be cheering for. I think it might be Liverpool, guys. I think it might be Liverpool. Yeah. Adam, your feet people are wild. You mean hashtag Gripper Nation? I mean, Gripper Nation is the greatest. Producer Hayden has scoring chances stats. Can you send them to me over text, Hayden? He's going to send them to me because I want to see where we're at. I don't know. Listen, do I think Dallas has outchanced the Oilers? Yes. Do I think they've outchanced them by the margin that we're seeing on the shot counter? No. What if Duchesne was 35 feet offside? Man, then the league would be like, we need to get a grip on our offsides. You know you're old when you verbally add hashtag. Yo, meme Empress, I'm not old. I'm not even middle-aged. I am an elder millennial, which means I have not hit middle-aged yet. Actually, elder millennials are older than me. But whatever. Okay? Producer Hayden, stats god. has given me the high danger scoring chances and just scoring chances in general. So scoring chances in general right now, midway through the game, because we're exactly like 30 minutes and 30 seconds through the game. Dallas has 9 scoring chances, Edmonton 5. But here's the key difference, and this is what I was talking about. High danger scoring chances, which it's a bit subjective, but I think at this point we kind of get high danger scoring chances. The Dallas Stars have 5 of them. The Edmonton Oilers have 4. And here's the thing: I would bet that 2 of those they've converted on. That's why I think this game is not. Steve is in. Steve is in for the toenail painting. Let's go. Let's go. Steve Dangle, everybody. Let's go. Oh, that's funny. Steve Dangle. Adam, where is your family origin mostly from? Near Liverpool? No, we were southern. We were like more Essex or Wessex or whatever it is down there. But we were close to London. But I just went to Liverpool once and I had the best time. I love Liverpool. I had such a blast. And people from Manchester are like, what? You like Scousers? And I was like, yeah, I kind of do. It was cool. Do you know that the city of Liverpool is home to more number 1 hits on the Billboard charts than anywhere else in the world? And like 46, there's like 51. 46 of them are the Beatles. But another one is Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Relax, don't do it. One of the first homoerotic songs of the 80s. Look up the lyrics. You'll know what I'm talking about. And the guy that sang in Frankie Goes to Hollywood, this is crazy. We did like a music tour when I was there. The guy that sang in Frankie Goes to Hollywood, that big 80s huge hit, his brother was doing the tour. He's like, yeah, that's my brother. I was like, what? This is crazy. He's a very nice guy. I forget his name. Super nice. How many fake accounts can you make on YouTube? I don't know. Why do you need to know that? Trinket 2.0, everything about the 80s was kind of homoerotic. That's true. That's true. That's why we like them. We love, what's funny is a song that's really homoerotic about a small town kid leaving his small town in England and going to the big city is that Bronski Beat song. That you guys have TikTok where they're asking, I want to ask my parents how they used to dance to this song in the 80s, and you hear that in the background. That's Bronski Beat. That is a song about being gay in the 80s in a small town. A lot of people didn't know that at the time. And now you know. Okay, here we go. Face off. Now, I'll be honest with you. For whatever reason right now, the Rogers Ignite app is not doing great for me. So I'm losing the stream at the moment. I'm going to have to reset my stream. So you're just going to have to give me a minute. I don't know if it's the internet in the area, which does tend to drop in this area from time to time. It's super weird. So just give me a second. I'm not actually watching the game at the moment. The internet in the studio is not fabulous. Oh, here we go. We're back. And we're back at full volume, and they just cracked my ears. Yeah. Internet's not looking great. You guys tell me what's going on. You guys articulate the game to me, because I don't know what's happening here. Yeah, I got Tellus, baby. And yeah, hey, happy Pride Month. That's true, too. That's true. There we go. 8:24 in the second period. Yeah, you know what? You're right, Action Jackson. It's just too many people streaming the game online. Too many Oilers fans saying, we need this. Man, I cannot believe that this is, my stream keeps cutting out. So here's what I'm going to do. You guys can still see me, right? We're going to put on, by the way, Leafs prospect Easton Cowan is apparently, his team is taking on the Saginaw Spirit in the Memorial Cup, and they're getting caved. Everybody's saying go to Starlink. Is Starlink? I don't think you can get Starlink in the city, can you? I'm at the SDPN studios. The internet should be working here. Listen, I'll try the Sportsnet app. See how it goes. I still don't have anything. This is weird. This has not happened all playoffs. Can you guys tell me what's going on? Am I missing anything? Just logging into the Sportsnet app. Why is this happening now? If I have to use the Sportsnet app, unfortunately, it's going to mean I'm a little behind. So you're going to have to align streams with me. Okay, the Sportsnet app seems to be working right now, so we'll go to that. 7:38 in the second period. Super strange that would be happening that way, but here we go. 7:38. Clapping for the faceoff. Linesman refuses to drop it because he sucks. Kicking a Dallas player out. I got to be honest with you. I cannot stand it. So Duchesne is out. Marchment is in. I almost said Marchand. Acid flashbacks there. There goes Hyman. Man, Hyman, McDavid tonight. Listen, Nooch was the hero last game. Hyman and McDavid are like, you know what? We'll take it today. You did your job, Nooch. We got 2 power play goals out of you. You just sit this one out. Hyman's going to use his butt. McDavid's going to use his feet. It's going to be great. That guy from Canada, set your stream to steal. I wish I knew how. There are so many people that are so crafty about that, and I'm like, I'm too old to be stealing media. I feel bad about it. And I say this as a purveyor of free media, mostly. Stars pushing way too late. I don't know. I think there's lots of time left. One thing I should have asked Stats God, producer Hayden, was I should have asked him when those breakdowns happened, but I can tell you at least 2 of them happened after the first period. These 2-goal meltdowns that have happened in this series 3 different times, 3 different games, we've seen 2-goal leads blown. And if you were looking at it right now, just based on the shot counter, you'd be like, yeah, it looks like Edmonton's going to blow one here too. The high danger scoring chances are not as high for Dallas as you would expect. It's like 5-4. Edmonton has been very efficient with their shots. When they get a high danger scoring chance, they convert. Dallas, not as much. I think Dallas needs a little bit more body in front and rebound. Although I like to see Maverick Bourque in there. Natalie gifted 10 memberships. Woo! Natalie with a Jesse face on it. I think that's my Natalie. I think that's my wife. I think that is my wife, Natalie. But she's got Jesse's face up there because he's her favorite. He's most people's favorite. Everybody say hi, Natalie. Hi, Natalie. Natalie saying hi, everyone. Hi, Natalie. Oh, Johnson, I thought he had one there. Oh, Dallas is just not converting. If you're a Stars fan, you're upset right now. Like, what do we got to do? What do we got to do? How many feet do we have to look at? As a Canes fan, Florida got some sweet revenge against New York and that obnoxious Rangers fan base. Hello from us in Carolina, Matthew Brown. I have to be honest with you. As a Leaf fan, I can't ever remember in my time the Leafs and Rangers ever having that much of a contentious rivalry, which is kind of strange because, Leafs in Montreal, obviously, Leafs in Boston, obviously. I've seen Toronto, Detroit have some nasty games, like original 6 matchups, things like that. Toronto, New Yorker, it's always like a little bit business. It's like 2 accountants going head to head. That's Stuart Skinner's 20th save of the game. The man's been real good. But I'll say Dallas is doing something a little bit different in this period. This is one of the first times we've seen them 5-on-5, sustained ozone pressure with guys in front of the net. Oilers break that up. Looked like a dangerous pass there. Draisaitl chip and chase around Harley and beats him to the puck, so Tanev's got to cover him off. I got to tell you, I'm really, really impressed. Really impressed by what Edmonton does on defense. It's really impressive. Now, if they have to play the Florida Panthers in the next round, which if they hold it on the lead for almost exactly 23, 2, 1, 25 more minutes, and the Edmonton Oilers are in the Stanley Cup. I just want to throw that out there. If they want to do this in the finals, they got to be prepared for the fact that Sam Bennett is going to spear them in the balls the entire time they do it. Skinner super chats here. What do we got? Wiggleman would love to watch Fallout 4 stream or series of videos. I love Jesse's streams, but I have so much bad blood for Chell. It's distracting. Yeah, you know what, guys? I gotta be honest. I want to love the NHL games. I used to love the NHL games, but they used to get better every year. There used to be legitimate upgrades every year. Like where you're like, oh my God, this blew my mind. I can't believe how much better this game is than it was last year. To the point where you'd forget last year's game even existed. And from everything I've seen, the exception of the graphics and some gameplay stuff, the games have kind of gotten thinner. And I like stuff. I don't like to just play online because I'm in my 30s, man. I don't have a lot of time. So I want to like build a team and go deep, do what Jesse's doing on his streams, basically. And they took away some of the fun stuff about that. Remember when you used to have to unlock the 2 phones? Like NHL 2005, the lockout year one, I think Naslin's on the cover. Marcus Naslin. Dude, that game was sick. It was so good. You'd get emails from players going, "Please don't trade me." I remember like as a GM in that game, I got an email from Pavel Bure because I was the GM of the New York Rangers, and it said, "Please don't trade me, even though I haven't played very well." That used to happen. Can you believe that? Dude, what happened? EA needs to add podcasters to the game mode in 3s. I would love to do that. Listen, I want to love the NHL games when they come out. I want to love the F1 games when EA puts them out. But I don't. I bought F1 2021 because I wanted to get because I think that was the year EA took it over, and then I bought 2022. And both of them were the same. They just updated the stats. Brother, It's like, I just felt like I wasted money. And then they're like, oh, we've got this cool story mode. But you're not going to get it every year. You're going to get the story mode every other year. So you got this Aiden Jackson character, and every 2 years we'll give you a story. What are you doing 11 months of the year? You can't get the Aiden Jackson voice actor in to make a new story? Come on, guys. SDPN account, F1 has taken a bit of a jump since then. Well, I hope so. FIFA is the best EA game, no question. Every time you play FIFA, it's crazy the things you can do in that game. And that's what's so tantalizing about it. You're like, yo, if you can do that with FIFA, can't you just copy that feature and put it in the NHL game? Can't you just do that? I would love to do that. Sad Leafs fan, of which there are many. Adam, as a fellow Steelers fan, do you have faith in Russell Wilson and Justin Fields? Make me believe. Listen, I'll tell you this. Here's what's going to happen. Russell Wilson is there. You guys remember that scene from Moneyball? Here I am being Steve Dangle, where Brad Pitt goes in and talks to David Justice. And David Justice is like, "You're paying me $7 million." And Billy Bean, Brad Pitt's character, goes, "Nope, I'm paying you $3.5 million. The Yankees are paying you $3.5 million to not play for them." What do you think that says about you? Or what does that say about what they think about you? And, I think for Russell Wilson, he's going to want redemption after what happened. Whoa! Here we go. Hold on. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I think Russell Wilson's going to want he came into Denver, and he was really spoiled, and he played like crap, and like had his own office and weird stuff, and like there was a bunch of weird reports out of Denver about him. As long as Russell Wilson gets a grip, because he's weird, he's still got talent. And then I think Justin Fields actually is a great quarterback. And I'm one of these weird Steeler fans who has never wanted Mike Tomlin to be fired. So I think what happens is Russell Wilson comes in. I think he'll play okay. And then they're going to give Justin Fields a chance. He's going to learn under Russ. And maybe it takes a season, maybe only half a season. Oh, Nurse should have got a high stick penalty there. Nurse absolutely should get a high stick penalty there. He didn't get one, but he got away with it. I think Fields takes over, and I think he does a great job. That guy's got a ton of talent. If you watched him play in college, he's crazy. So you should believe. CJ Impossible Films. Adam and STP, thank you for the streams. Only way for me to follow the playoffs where I am. What's a polar bear's favorite food, Gripper Nation? Burgers. Where are you that you can't watch the playoffs? and you can only watch on YouTube. Here comes that Stankoven line again. CC breaks it up. As a Leaf fan, CC breaks it up is a phrase I cannot relate to. Action Jackson, don't celebrate too early. True. Listen, there are 22 minutes and 36 seconds left in this game. There is plenty of time for Dallas to get back in. I mean, we saw how close it looked when New York scored. Like when Panarin scored, we were like, maybe they can do this. CJ Impossible Films, I work in rural Oklahoma, working a Renaissance festival. Whoa. All right. I guess there's not a lot of internet out there. Well, we're happy to have you along, man. At least there's enough internet for you to stream us, and I'm thrilled about it. Super chat just above CJ Impossible Films. I'm sorry if I missed it. Oh, Nightmare LLC. Marner for Larson, McCann, and Furcus, and a second and a fifth. Man, nothing would make me happier than to see Jared McCann back in a Leaf jersey where he belongs. Remember, the Leafs wanted to keep Kerfoot and Hall over Jared McCann. Boo, hiss, tomato, tomato, tomato. I like Larson again. I didn't like the way the Oilers deployed Larson. I think he got overmatched a lot because the Oilers had nobody else on defense. But I like Adam Larson, and I think he would be a good of the top 4 defensemen on the system. I think he'd be a real good guy who could maybe slot in next to McCabe. McCann gives you another weapon. And I think that if you have Bertuzzi, Domi, McCann, Nylander, as your top 6, I think that's a pretty good little start. I do think the Leafs desperately need a centerman. So maybe they can hang on. I'm going to see how much. I'm going to look at Jared McCann's stats here since you asked. Yeah, yeah, so McCann can do faceoffs, but he's not very good at them. You need a guy that can switch in and out. I like McCann a lot. I think he's great. Anytime you can add 30 or 40 goals to the lineup, you take that in a heartbeat. I just need I need the Leafs to get a center this year. They need it more than I think a lot of people are giving them credit for. Word is that Laurent Brossoit is on their list, and he should be. Him and Wool would be a pretty good little tandem, I think. I think they're going to need Marty Jones to stick around, though. I look at these teams, though. I look at the Oilers. I look at the Stars. These guys would smoke the Leafs. Smoke them. Crush them. And there's nothing wrong in admitting that. The problem was in previous years, our management and our fan base, to a smaller extent, I don't blame the fans, they wouldn't admit that to themselves. They'd literally watch the finals and be like, Leafs could do this. No. Justin Fisher just sent me this. Does Dallas come back in this game? 432 of you voted. 57% said Stars are cooked. 42% said lots of time left. Guys, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm in the lots of time left camp. There is plenty of time. Although we didn't get a goal in the second period so far. There's only 40 seconds to go. We do know that the winner of the second period wins the game. And I would say, overall, the Dallas Stars have outshot and outchanced the Edmonton Oilers in this second period. Now, maybe this is the game that bucks the trend. But if you're being honest with yourself, you would have to agree with me on that. So does that trend continue? Dallas has something they can build. Ooh, Ottinger falls. And he gives the puck away. Not ideal, but there's only 10 seconds to go in the period. Here comes Hyman. Ooh, almost pulled it out front. Broken up by the Dallas defense. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Second period is over. All right, now here's the deal. Oilers fans are cheering. But I know Oilers fans, you're a little nervous right now. You're a little nervous. You should be a little nervous. One more period. And Dallas has looked better. So I would give the edge to Dallas in that period, although it's not like crazy. So if the whole trend of team that wins the second period wins the game continues, I would say there's more than enough time left to crush a 2-goal lead. Remember when Edmonton did it last Wednesday? Dallas went up 2-0 in the first 10 minutes of the first period. And then the second 10 minutes of the first period, Edmonton said, yeah, bye-bye score. Bye-bye lead. Just throwing that out there. Doesn't take long. Looking at Rob McLeod. What did you think about the PWHL streaming their entire season on YouTube? Do you think they will be able to do that next season? Rob, it all depends on what they can get in terms of rights. The PWHL is, if you look at it from a purely business perspective, a lot of businesses in their first 5 to 10 years, depending upon what their trajectory is, will spend essentially to the cap. They won't make a huge profit. They're spending to grow so that they can scale and get as many people in the door as possible, basically, right? So I would say that they're in a growth thing. And the reality of it is, if they can build a big enough following on YouTube, then you sell rights and you make a ton of money off of selling the rights to your game. But you make the rights to those games worth a lot more if you can show on YouTube how many people are watching. And I think there were 50,000 concurrent viewers. That's not 50. Like right now, we've got 1,400 people watching. It doesn't mean that that's how many unique viewers we get. Concurrent viewers is people watching right now. Unique viewers is how many people, different human beings from different IPs, came in over the course of a game. And so when you go out to market and you sell this, 50,000 people might have watched concurrently, but it might be 300,000 people that watched the game or more. And that's just on YouTube. Forget whatever networks it was played on. So yeah, I think that they will. But if I was a broadcaster, if I was TSN or Sportsnet or even CBC, and I had the budget, and none of them have budgets anymore like they used to, I would say that I'd be like, I want you to pull that off YouTube because I want them to watch that on my network. But the world is changing. So I think that maybe they will continue. Corrigan Archangel, if you could take any defenseman, who would you like to see be a partner with Morgan Rielly? I read a great article in The Athletic today, this morning, and they were talking about Brady Shea. And from Carolina. He's going to be a free agent. He's going to be expensive. He's close to 30 if he's not 30 already. But I think Leaf fans need to get used to the idea that they're going to be signing a lot of 28, 29, and 30-year-olds to 8-year contracts because it makes sense to now. You got to win now. And I think he would be instantly the best. If we're signing a defenseman, he'd be the best partner Morgan Rielly's ever had. I don't mind if there was a Marner trade proposal to the Kraken proposed earlier. I don't mind Adam Larson in that spot because remember, anybody in that spot doesn't need to be a superstar. They just need to let Morgan Rielly be Morgan Rielly so he can be great. The Leafs do need a better top four. Morgan Rielly can't be it. In fact, the Leafs' number one goal this year needs to be find a defenseman that's better than Morgan Rielly, and then find a defenseman who can play with Morgan Rielly. And those are not necessarily the same player. You need a guy who can regularly... If Morgan Rielly is on your second pair of defense, you're freaking laughing. That's what I'm saying. You need two really solid pairs. Morgan Rielly can't be the guy that does everything all the time. You need to create some competitiveness on the power play units. The Leafs have not been able to do that. They haven't had a guy since Tyson Barrie other than Morgan Rielly who can really move the puck all that well. And, Tyson Barrie had his warts too. I think it's time for the Leafs to stop loading up one power play unit, start spreading the wealth and making guys work for their power play time. And that means going out and getting a guy who can run a point on a power play. That's what they were trying to do with Klingberg last year for cheap. And Klingberg might come back as like a PTO or something like that. They desperately need to make Morgan Rielly. Give him somebody who he can play with. Bush was good. Luke Shen was the best Morgan Rielly's ever looked to me. Luke Shen and Morgan Rielly were great together. Imagine a defense pairing like that, and that's defense pairing number 2. I like that. Adam will trade you Josh Manson. I think Josh Manson is he not a free agent this year? I would prefer Brett Pesce with Rielly. Yeah, Dave, you're probably right to prefer that. Yeah, keep Martin or trade Nylander. I think the decision there is if they are going to do it, they're going to have to do it. There are no rules in the playoffs. Skill matters less. Thuggery matters more. Sometimes, Reed. In the East, it certainly does right now. The East is a lot more vicious than the West. I look at this Edmonton and Dallas series, and I don't see a vicious series. Although last year with Vegas, they were vicious. They were a mean team. This year, it just they didn't get through. Teams like that didn't get through. Manson has 2 years left at 4.5. Oh, okay. Who did I think? Oh, sorry, not Josh Manson. Brandon Montour is another guy. Would love to see Brandon Montour on the Leafs. Love to see Brandon Montour on the Leafs, but he's so expensive. Martyr for Adam Fox, LOL. Yo, can I ask you guys a question before I throw to a? I'm going to throw to a quick break here so I can have a breather. What happened to Jake Trouba? Goal number. We're going to talk about this on the podcast tomorrow. But the first goal yesterday that Florida scored. Did you see what Trouba did? Just shot himself like a missile at the non-puck carrying guy. What was he going to do there? What happened to this guy? He was like one of my favorite defensemen in the league. He was so awesome to watch, just trucking guys. And now, like, he might be the first Mark Messier Leadership Award recipient who gets his captaincy stripped. It was crazy. He had a bad playoff. Him and K'Andre Miller can't play together. It's a disservice to both of them. And I'm not saying either of them are bad defensemen, but you can't put those two players together. They clearly don't work. Okay, next clip. According to producer Drew, it's Adam and Steve's top 5 coaches in the NHL. This is something from our press conference the other day. Actually, this was a really fun one. Have a look. I'll be back in like 8 minutes.
Are the 2 best coaches in the National Hockey League in the state of Florida?
Yeah. I think that you can make a good. I mean,
certainly
it depends on
funniest.
Depends on what you think of Bruce Cassidy.
And I think that counts.
Bruce Cassidy in Vegas is to me one of the best. Although rumor has it that Vegas is very analytically inclined, so it takes some of that out of the coach's hands. As in, like, they'll hand you a piece of paper after a period and say, these are the lines you're going to deploy.
Like the Blue Jays?
The Blue Jays will do that too.
Like,
yeah, the Blue Jays do that. Yeah. They don't talk about it, but like,
Can they borrow some of the Golden Knights' success or what?
Oh no.
No?
You actually have to believe your stats are wrong for that.
Oh, that's good.
That's good. Again, remember the score takes care of itself, except when it doesn't. And
the Honshu Chronicles or whatever.
Who else would I put?
Pete
how do we not put Pete DeBoer
has
there?
been in 4 conference finals now.
Yeah.
In the last 5 years.
I would say the one
DeBoer
coach
gets
that's
in there.
missing is Craig Berube because he's the Leafs coach. He's now among the greatest of all time.
No Jim Montgomery in there?
Oh, Monty, man.
No Rick
Okay,
Tocchet
all
in there?
right. How many years of Monty in Boston do we have to talk about before we go?
I'm not putting him in that category.
Well, because he had 2 amazing regular seasons.
How many years until he gets Dwayne Casey'd, I think.
That's what I'm trying to say. Because like there were conversations happening. You guys remember?
Oh, yeah.
If Boston loses Game 7 this year, Monty's job's under threat.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What?
Well, you blew it last year. You can't blow it again.
Yeah.
Like, eventually something's got to give.
Isn't that nuts, though?
I mean, pretty rare you blow a 3-1 series deficit back-to-back years.
Yeah.
Like, it's happened.
A little bit on the coach.
I want to say it's happened less than 40 times in NHL history. So for it to happen twice in 2 years,
even
insane.
even almost blowing it the second time is still almost blowing it.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, you still have to look at that and go, well, that's not great.
No.
Like what people are sticking Rod Brindamore with, despite the fact that Rod's actually won a lot of playoff series in his time in Carolina. It's like Monty might be at the beginning of that unless they figure out what the thing is to get them to the next level.
This is, once again, I asked the question a few weeks ago. How many elite coaches are there?
Well, you can't have a lot.
Well, like
you have to have like 3 to 5 max.
I think we have a category of 3 to 5, and then another category of maybe 8 good ones, and then I think you got a whole big old pile of mid, and then you got some dudes who teams are just trying.
Can I get you guys? I'm going to do it. We're going to clip this.
Okay.
Adam and Steve's. That's it. Adam Wylde and Steve Dangle's top 5 coaches in the National Hockey League.
Oh.
Oh.
All right. All right.
List it.
All right.
This is you got to make it quick
Is
and
it just
snappy.
this year?
Currently,
Currently, right now.
Yeah.
Currently and based off the past.
based
few
on
years.
vibes.
Based
Oh.
on V-Base.
No, that changes my answer. Because I don't like Pete DeBoer. Like I'm not.
Pete DeBoer does
gonna
not
be
have vibes.
All right, let's get another round for Pete.
Yeah.
Like no. Cooper. That guy's gonna be telling knee slappers till they kick us out.
Okay, based on the best, based on BS.
I think, by the way, I think Cooper can quote like Socrates too. Like I think he's that one of those guys who's funny, but also very smart.
I'd go out for beers with Paul Maurice. I'd go out for wine with.
None of this is a top 5 list.
No, this is
just you
important.
guys gabbing
You
about.
said vibes, and I'm talking about who I want to drink with.
Okay, so here's the easy one. John Cooper is the best coach in the National Hockey League.
I think so.
1, 2.
Number 2, I think.
No, we should.
I'm not number.
We should have gone 5-1.
5-1. Oh,
Yeah, that makes the
all right.
TikTok
Well, we know
better.
how we're building it.
No,
Okay,
all
All right,
fine.
so 5.
We need the coach pyramid.
When are you going to come up with your cards?
I need to
have
do
your-
it.
you need to
come
have
up
your-
with my stupid coach pyramid.
Coach power rankings.
Yeah.
John Cooper, Pete DeBoer, I think is in that.
Yep.
I'd put Bruce Cassidy in that.
Paul Maurice.
I wouldn't have a few years ago, but yeah, Paul Maurice I think has got to be in there now. And then
Can I throw a name?
Yeah,
That's going to make me unpopular?
you could lob it.
Except for one place. Rick Tockett's name. Not yet. Not yet.
He hasn't had enough.
He hasn't had enough.
Is he not the current coach of the year?
He's the current coach of the year, but he hasn't had
which
enough.
means he's
Monty was last year.
2 years
Okay.
away from getting fired. Like,
Yeah.
that's usually what that means.
I think seeing what he did with a very similar Vancouver team that Bruce Boudreau had, what he did at the beginning of this season, and then through maintaining it throughout the team as they added pieces as well, Rick Tocchet needs to be in the top 5.
On the almost list, I would also put Andrew Brunette. Because what he did in Nashville this year,
Yeah.
I think is really impressive.
Is Brind'Amour out of your top 5?
Yes, because I'm putting in Jared Bednar.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Bednar.
Bednar.
That's a good
Did you
choice.
put DeBoer in there too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, so
I agree.
Brind'Amour, I think, is somewhere between the
5 and 10?
the 2 tiers that I mentioned.
Torts, what he did with Philadelphia this year.
Torts?
can't be ignored.
no.
What do you mean, nah? They almost made the playoffs.
Wow.
They're a garbage team.
Oh, you're right. He
Wow.
deserves to be in the elite class because they choked a playoff spot. What are you talking about?
Martin St. Louis?
No, not yet. No,
Not yet.
Not that
what
he
have they
could.
done?
They
have they done?
They
I'm
finished.
asking
They finished close to
questions.
last and less close to last.
I'm asking. Okay, so you named a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
Let's now do this. Steve Dangle and Adam Wylde's top 5 coaches list going from 5 to 1.
Oh, I hate it.
Rank them.
All right, fine.
You said that like Dua Lipa.
Rod Brind'Amour 5.
Have you seen that interview with Seth Meyers?
No.
They play this game where it's truth or take a shot. And she goes, "You have 3 kids, right?" And then he goes, "Yeah." And she goes, "Rank them." Anyway, Adam, yes.
I'm glad you explained that. I know that Maddie's dying
right.
over there.
5 to 1.
Rod Brind'Amour at number 5. The disrespect to Rod is unfair. Okay.
Mhm. You can have your separate list.
Number 4, Jim Montgomery. I don't think that you put together the best regular season of all time and at least have a little recency bias and be on this list.
I put him in the Rod tier.
Put him in the Rod tier?
Yeah.
You get your own list. Shut up.
Okay, fine.
Actually, you know what? No. I'm taking Monty back because it's unfair. Because I have John Cooper later on.
Okay, list them.
Okay, so Rod,
We went through everybody.
Rod,
Okay.
Paul Maurice,
Mhm.
Pete DeBoer. Who was the number 2 I had? Jared Bednar. Number 1, John Cooper.
Steve.
I'm going to say Pomo number 5. You got to win a cup. That's what they call him. Pomo. Paul Maurice. Prison rules, Paul.
Are you on the Panthers now?
Yeah. No,
Benny,
no,
you
I
know?
would call him like friggin' palsy or something.
Hey, Jess,
Like,
you remember when Dua Lipa took a shot? It was crazy.
It's a heartwarming clip.
All right, Steve, make your list.
I've put Paul Maurice 5, Bruce Cassidy 4, Bednar 3, DeBoer 2, Cooper 1.
Okay.
It's good. It's good
You're
stuff.
welcome, Maddie. All right? You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We're back on the stream. We're really back. What did you guys think of our top 5 coaches list? Huh? What do you think? Did we do okay? That guy from Canada, who was the better Leafs coach, Adam? Pat Burns or Pat Quinn? I'll give the edge to Pat Burns, and I'll tell you why. Pat Quinn was brought in as a motivator. He wasn't an X's and O's guy. He was a motivator. Berube has been brought in as a motivator, not an X's and O's guy. Because he had, when you have veteran teams, you don't need the X's and O's guys. You need the guys that just get guys fired up and, feeling good. Long story short, I would say that Pat Burns got it because he took a team that was a perennial losing team that had some talent and brought them and squeezed every drop out of them. Like that Leafs team going to 2 Western Conference Finals in a row, especially the first time. Like the Vancouver Canucks ran their show in 1994, which is why no Leaf fan ever talks about it. But in 1993, going 7 games against Gretzky, that's pretty cool, man. So I'm going to give it to him. And that's no disrespect to Pat Quinn. I love Pat Quinn. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. No love for Rick Tocchet. Shame, boo, hiss. You know what? I think here's the thing with Rick Tocchet. You need to string multiple seasons together. And when you win the Jack Adams like he did, remember, Andrew Burnett won the Jack Adams, and then he got fired. Who won the 23 Jack Adams? Was it Montgomery? If Montgomery had lost to the Leafs in the first round, which was entirely possible, by the way, Montgomery would have been fired this year, guys. Your list were missing Sheldon Keefe. You know what? Shout out Sheldon Keefe. He didn't do a bad job here. He just didn't get it done here. I don't think he did a bad job. Jesse was hurting ADHD in that clip, Adam, but still love you all. Well, you guys must know at this point what we're all about. Oh, Burnett didn't win the Jack Adams. Then he was the Ty Smith, and he was the – was he not the he was the all-star coach. That's what I mean then. Craig G, I think my super chat was missed. Did I miss you, Craig? Well, I did it on purpose. Screw you, Craig. No, I didn't. Reed Miller, shout out to you, pal. Craig, I didn't see your super chat. What did you ask? I did not see your super. Oh, okay. So apparently if it's Edmonton versus Florida, who wins and why? I would say Daryl Sutter won the Jack Adams in 2022. Man, who votes for the Jack Adams again? That's so freaking embarrassing. Ugh. That guy's, just the NHL sometimes. By the way, I'm back on Shaw Ignite. It's working again. So if you're watching the game, I'm watching from the cable feed. 1940 left in the third period, ladies and gentlemen. We are less than 20 minutes from potentially seeing the Oilers in the Stanley Cup Final. We're also less than 20 minutes away from the Dallas Stars coming roaring back and beating these Edmonton Oilers and making this a real story. So, by the way, Hayden, tell me again what the super chat was. It was about Edmonton and Florida and in the finals, right? Okay. Who wins and why? I think I'm going to hold off on saying who wins and why, but I'll give you the keys to the series. The keys to the series are this. The true key is we know Edmonton can score. We know Florida can score. We know that Edmonton can defend. We know Florida can really defend too, right? Both are great. How much does being a shithead matter? And I'm not talking about a fun shithead. I'm talking about an a-hole. How much does that matter in this series? If they were to play each other, how does Edmonton deal with Sam Bennett punching Connor McDavid in the face in game 2 and the ref not seeing it? You know, like that stuff is going to happen. And the Oilers have had a relatively hate-free run to the finals, which is rare. I mean, like last year, you look at the Vegas Golden Knights, they were punching and kicking and slashing and whatever all the way to the finals. It's just not been that way this year. That's not been the culture of the league this year for the Oilers to play. I don't know. Florida's going to go, they're going to go full asshole. And can the Oilers handle it? I think they've got the personnel to handle it. You got, again, I think I said this earlier, Corey Perry's got to be 10 out of 10 Corey Perry. He's got to spear guys in the nuts and be crazy. You got to have Darnell Nurse dropping huge hits and maybe the occasional elbow as well. And as I said earlier, Stuart Skinner's got to be ready for the Florida Panthers to run him all series. They're going to run him all series. They're going to jump on his head. They're going to fall on his arm accidentally on purpose. Like there's going to be, if Stuart Skinner thinks he's got bruises now, in 17 minutes and 45 seconds of ice time, if everything stays the same with the score, Stuart Skinner better get the ointment out because he's going to be bruised. He's going to be sore, and they're going after you. MKI Sports, hey, King Gripper Adam, just got off from work. Gripper Nation forever. What's up? Let's go. Florida cheap hits all night, every night, because the refs allow Florida to do it. Roberto, you're right. But like, if the refs allow you to do it, why wouldn't you take advantage of it? They're letting you do it. They basically took the Bruins playbook from like the last decade and said, why don't we do that? And they do it. And, sign a few sticks for the refs and their families. You're laughing. Allegedly. Why no love for Knobloch? Again, we did give Knobloch some love. We've given him lots of love. I've given him lots of love in this series. I think Knobloch's been great, but to call him one of the best coaches in the league after coaching 60 games, I think it's premature. It's like with Tocchet. I think it's premature. Give me 2 or 3 years of good coaching, and then. Okay, I'm just getting into my earpiece here from producer Hayden Statsgod that the London Knights have tied up the Memorial Cup final. At one point, Saginaw was out shooting them 16-1. Hayden, can you tell me what the shots are now? Oh, here we go. He's looking, can't find. By the way, anybody that's wondering, 17 minutes left in the third period. We reset the clock every time. So our clock doesn't roll like Steve's clock does, but our clock does. Every time there's a face-off, the clock resets. So you'll be able to see it. 23-8. Wow. By the way, look at that. 1,600 people here. What's up? What's up? Eric Lencher. I don't recall the Bruins cheap-shotting any star players and knocking them out of the playoffs in any series in the past decade. You sound like a whiny Leafs fan. Eric, you must not be a Bruins fan. Because if you were, you would proudly own that. That's absolutely what the Boston Bruins did. Don't give me that. We all watched them. And just own it, man. Don't run away from your identity. Everybody knows the Boston Bruins are shitheads, and they were the best at it. And look, it worked. They won a cup in 11. They lost a cup against St. Louis about 5 years ago, and they had some great runs in between. I don't know. Are you embarrassed by the fact that you are what you are? The Bruins were dirty, and they were great at it. 15:43 left in the third period. Sedin Magic, only 8 shots on goal for Edmonton, still has a 2-goal lead. I feel like that's not how it's supposed to work. Yes, but again, I'm going to actually have producer Hayden. Hayden, I know you're listening to me right now. Can you look up high danger scoring chances again, sir? Just want scoring changes and high danger scoring chances. That is so untrue, Adam. Guys, Bruins fans, come on. Brad Marchand was licking players. Get out of here with this. Give it to me. Okay, high danger scoring chances. For the Dallas Stars, there are 7, and they have 22 shots. For the Oilers, there are 5. So this comes down to straight up, Dallas is going for multiple shots. A lot of them are hitting Stuart Skinner's chest, right? It's not a lot of high danger stuff. The Oilers are a lot more efficient, ruthlessly efficient. Sorry, Hayden, I know you were going to say something else. Can you say it into my ear, please? Or were you not? Regular scoring chances are 19 for Dallas. So interesting enough. So Dallas has 25 shots right now. 19 of them are considered scoring chances, but not necessarily high danger. The Oilers have 8 shots, and all 8 of them are considered scoring chances. And it's just because of the type of shots. Ooh, that sucks, by the way. Delay a game. Well, Draisaitl kind of flipped it out in his own zone. We're talking about hiding. Oh, that just sucks. That just sucks. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Can we get rid of the puck over glass penalty? I'm old enough to grow hydro to remember when the New Jersey Devils used to do this all the time. They just fire it out of the zone whenever they were under pressure. Marty Brodeur had a pretty good little shot, if I recall. And it was never called because it was not delay of game at that point. It was a great way to get a face-off. And it was a great thing. And no, we cannot get out of puck over glass. Puck over glass has to stay forever. It's one of the best rules the NHL has. Trust me, you don't want it back the other way. You'll just get angry at your TV. Oh, Heiskanen with a shot. Good save by Skinner. Rebound goes out to the side. This is a pivotal penalty kill. The Oilers have killed 27 of these in a row. Can they kill a 28th? This will be the biggest one they kill if they can do it. 1:35 left in the power play. Okay. Nice little clear. Oilers defense looking good. A lot of modern rules were also because of New Jersey in 2000. Yeah, the reason we don't have like the 2-line pass anymore with the red line is because of New Jersey, the neutral zone trap, all that crap. I also think, I don't know if you guys remember, but they used to make players race for icing calls, and guys used to just get absolutely crushed from behind. Crushed. And it would be like, be really great defensemen, and they just get blown up from behind, and the league was totally cool with it until one day they're like, maybe we shouldn't do that. Robbie Thomas, 18. That wouldn't be the Robert Thomas from St. Louis, would it? You mean St. Louis Blues legend Marty Brodeur? That's right. 4-game player Martin Brodeur. Guy who told Jordan Binnington, you're not good enough. We're sending you down. And then Benner said, no. And then won a cup. All in the same season. Sedin Magic, 15. I remember those days, Adam. Those games took forever. The neutral zone trap days were the worst. They're the worst. Oh, and the Oilers clear it again. Ladies and gentlemen, the Edmonton Oilers have now done 28 straight penalty kills. The fans are on their feet. And that's the thing with the Dallas Stars. They keep letting the Oilers get these penalty kills, and the fans know there's a crazy streak on going, and it gives them a jolt. And here's the thing. The Oilers put the best players on the ice back out. Make it happen. 13 minutes and 6 seconds to go. We got a linesman down or a ref down behind the net. We got a puck in front of the net, and we got Stuart Skinner making a good catch, and Oilers fans are jacked. 13 minutes exactly left in the third period. There is a bolt of lightning through Rogers Arena? Is it Rogers Arena? Rogers Place. Rogers Place is Vancouver. Rogers Arena in Edmonton. Rogers, can you let someone else buy a sponsorship, please, so we can remember what arena is where? Another Canadian Cup would be a dream come true after 31 years. It would be nice. Hey, by the way, who's excited for this new Star Wars series, The Acolyte? I have to admit, I'm quite intrigued. It is Star Wars, and I will watch the whole thing. But I really, really like what they did with Mandalorian, although sometimes there's a lot of, there could be filler episodes, and I loved Andor. Andor was sick. Mentally, a really exhausting series. So I liked it. I liked it a lot. MKI Sports. If it's the last stream of yours this season, I'll say it's been nice being on your stream the whole playoffs. I'll be in Pittsburgh on my birthday this week. Well, listen, enjoy Pittsburgh for your birthday. Make sure that you say hi to Three Rivers Stadium. It's not Three Rivers anymore. Say hi to the ballpark. Say hi to Heinz Field. I will be going back in the fall and seeing another game. I saw San Francisco. San Francisco absolutely rocked the Steelers in game 1 this year, week 1. But yeah, enjoy. I love all the Star Wars TV shows. I know that some of them don't have great reputation, but I enjoy them. I like them. I like the Obi-Wan stuff. I don't know. I've always wanted a pre-Skywalker saga Star Wars. I think you might be getting those in the movies. And also the Acolyte's going to be that. So I think I'm excited. I liked Mandalorian, didn't like Boba Fett. I think they could have done more with Boba Fett. Boba Fett, it felt like they were stretching for time. I agree with you. It was good. The speeder bike, like punk rock teenagers were a bit cheesy, but it was good. And I like his redemption arc, and I loved seeing Cad Bane. How sick was that? But yeah, I mean, when it's Boba Fett and one of the episodes is completely based on Mando, you're like, what's going on here? I'm confused. I'm confused, Disney. Andor is one of my favorite TV shows of all time, legit. It is so good, it's crazy. $1,600 people watching. Oh, baby. Yeah, it's an elimination game. 28-8 are the shots, but don't let that fool you. High danger scoring chances are not that different here. Dallas has 7 shots this period. 0 for the Oilers. Yikes. But the high danger scoring chances for the Oilers are almost even, not quite even, with the Dallas Stars. So as a final FU to the Leafs, Sam Bennett just skated on the ice and cross-checked Easton Cowan in the neck. I like that. Sam Bennett's everywhere. Sam Bennett's just out there on the street somewhere with a stick, cross-checking people in the mouth and then getting away with it. The cops never see it. Adam, if you'll be watching Acolyte, watch out for Abigail Thorne. She's an up-and-coming actress who's very well known for her work here on YouTube with her channel Philosophy Tube. Well, that's cool. Do you think that Steve and Jesse and I could act? Put us in a series? I would like to do a Hallmark Christmas movie. That's always been my goal. I don't need to be the lead character. I don't think I'm good looking enough. I need to be the lead character's fun best friend. Can I do that? You know those terrible Hallmark Christmas movies that are so great? Oh, baby! Oilers almost had one there. Draisaitl. Nice little setup. Janmark just couldn't get a stick on it. I've always wanted to do that. I would love to do a Hallmark movie. And, you know, because like it's so much it's so funny because it's like, oh my God, the Christmas cookie factory is gonna shut down. But I'm big city woman who's a lawyer, and I don't need this small town anymore. And oh, here's my rugged ex-boyfriend who took me to prom and then broke up with me. Let's get back together and save the cookie factory. I don't need all that money and cool, fun stuff in the city. I'd rather live in his shack. Kiss. The end. It's beautiful. It's such a great formula. Give me that every time. And by the way, I think they shoot all of those in Vancouver and in Whistler. And I would love an excuse to go hang out in the mountains. I would love to see you guys have a segment in Shoresy. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be really cool. I don't know. I would, dude, I would love that. That'd be crazy. I don't know if they know who we are, but that would be very, very cool. DeGro Hydro. Sam Bennett cross-checked me in the face at a pizza joint. Damn. That was an Adam Wylde story or ChatGPT that was perfect. Ryan, listen, I'm telling you, I've watched enough of those Hallmark movies. I love them. I unironically will have them on during the day. My wife freaking hates them, but I get a lot of good work done when those are on. I think they're on W Channel here in Canada. Love them. Give me more. They're so bad. Oh, and we got a goal. We got a goal, ladies and gentlemen. Mason Marchment. You knew it was going to happen at some point if the Stars kept pushing. And it's a defensive breakdown by the Edmonton Oilers here. By the way, I believe that would count as a continuance goal because the net was technically off the moorings, but even so, that's very much a goal. So Marchment gets it across the line here. Is it offside? No. And then so the bounce goes off the back, and then Seguin smartly. Wow. Heads up play by Seguin there. Bounces off the backboard. He doesn't hold possession. He just flips the puck over. So many guys would try to go around the net and either do the wraparound or try to find somebody. He goes, no, flip it right out front. And on Dallas's 30th shot, they finally solve Stuart Skinner. I couldn't figure out if it was Jeff Skinner or Stuart Skinner. It's Stuart Skinner, even though I've been saying Jeff all playoffs. Rupe hits with a shot, misses the net. We got a game here, folks. The Edmonton Oilers need to start shooting some pucks, though. Like, now it's 1 goal. You need to do something now. Sometimes you're under siege. But you need to score some goals now. What just happened there? Oilers fans, how are we feeling? Oilers fans, I need a vibe check. You got 10 minutes to go in this game, Oilers. Are you feeling good about this? Dallas Stars fans, need a vibe check. Need to know how you're feeling. Do you feel like you can come back? Do you feel like you can do this? Are you a believer in this team again after 50 minutes of going, I hate these guys and I want to die? It's okay. It's what being a fan is. Are we stressed? Okay. So you, by the way, in the chat, you got to tell me if you're an Oiler fan or if you're a Star fan. And if you're a neutral fan, how much chaos do you want in your life? Because I have to tell you, as a neutral, I'm down for the chaos. Here we go. Here's McDavid. Heiskanen plays him absolutely perfectly. Drives him right into the corner. Although I got to be honest, McDavid kind of overplayed that. He should have just gone for it. Oh, we got a new chat. We got a new poll up. Justin Fisher. So don't call it a comeback or the Stars are winning this. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to say. I'm not going to tell you. Neutral, bring me chaos. I got nerves. Neutral fan. Panthers, home ice with Oilers win. Want all the chaos. 4-3 Saginaw right now. Neutral, but pulling for Edmonton. Devils fan still celebrating just the fact that the Rangers aren't in, I'm assuming. Neutral Islanders fan and a Leaf hater. Wow. Adam, how stressed are you on a level of 1 to 10? I am a 1. I'm chilling, man. The vibes are great. We're watching hockey on a Sunday night. The weather is beautiful outside. Life is good. If this were the Leafs, though, I'd be dying. And a nice little shot there. Good save by Stuart Skinner. Standing tall. Needed that. Oh! Okay, Edmonton might want to consider playing defense again because it's not going well for them. Oh! Stay going. Oh, it's just broken up. McLeod with a big play there. When they play that back, you watch. McLeod just stopped a goal. Oh, man. Oh, I thought Robertson was going to get a chance. Big defensive play by McLeod. Man, I can't get over that. Dylan Holloway, down deep. I think the rest of this game is going to feel like the last minute of a regular season game with a 1 goal. This is going to be crazy, guys. We are in for some of the best hockey of the playoffs right now. Thomas Harley trying to break the puck out. Oilers doing what they've been doing all series, which is harassing the puck carrier and making it impossible to break through the neutral zone. Nice shot there by, I believe, Zach Hyman. This McDavid line by far has been the best line on the team the last couple of games. Although Leon Draisaitl almost set some things up earlier in this game. Oh, this is fun. We're going to have a good old time. The Oilers are under siege, but they're hanging on with 7 minutes and 4 seconds left. Stuart Skinner has stopped the puck and asked for a face-off, and he's getting one. And guys, let's go through the vibes here. Burps McGurps. Robertson currently has one less shot than the Edmonton's entire roster. Yeah, listen, however this game ends, Chris Knobloch has to get in front of that microphone and go, I'm thrilled, but we didn't make it easy. Oilers fan here, we got this. Saginaw beat the London Knights. Wow. Oiler fan, not worried. Still think we have this. Worst case of Game 7. I'll be there, and the Stars suck at home. They do kind of suck at home. I think they're 4-5 in the playoffs. Easton Cowan just got leafed. Adam, you are not neutral. I think I'm neutral. I'm pretty neutral. Neutral would love to see Ed Money blow the lead, but win it. Win a damn cup, Connor. I think we all do want to see Connor win a cup, but I also want to see Pavelski win a cup. And by the way, I haven't mentioned this yet. I'm kind of pumped for Kyle Okposo to be in the finals, and you're probably like, Kyle Okposo, dude, what? But let me run you through something. Kyle Okposo has one of the most cursed careers in terms of who he ended up playing for. The guy was a high draft pick, 7th overall pick in 2006. He makes his debut in 07-08, and that's like the height of the DiPietro years. Like, New York sucked. He's played in the playoffs 4 times his entire career. 6 games with the Islanders in 12-13, 7 games with the Islanders in 14-15, 11 games when Tavares, notably, scored the OT winner and got the Islanders to the second round for the first time in like 30 years in 15-16. And then was not in the playoffs again until this year with the Florida Panthers. And let me say this. Okposo played for the Islanders during the worst stretch of their franchise ever. The most dysfunctional, the absolute worst years of being an Islander. You want to know why Tavares left the island? Look up Garth Snow and the owner's GM tenure. Garbage. They wasted time. And then he goes to the Buffalo Sabres, who they're still in the worst franchise period of their entire franchise. They're just so bad. And he's got to be the captain, and he has career-threatening injuries. Dude, him playing Stanley Cup Finals games, 36 years old, good for Kyle Okposo. There's players like that to root for on each of these teams, but I think Pavelski is the other guy where everybody goes, man, it'd be nice to see him get one. I don't think there are I don't know how many Ryan Suter stands there are out there, but Ryan Suter's another guy who's never won a cup. I don't know how many times he's been past the second round. Not much. Andrew Juris. Andrew, what's up? Hang on. I'm going to find you. I'm going to find the super chat. I just got here. What's happening, Andrew? We got a game, my friend. 6:25 left to go. And the shots are 31-10 for the Dallas Stars. However, the high danger scoring chances are a little closer to even, although not perfect. I'm going to get producer Hayden on the spot here. Producer Hayden, can we update that stat? Andrew Duras, thank you for joining us, sir. High danger scoring chances at this point in the game. 31-10 are the shots. I want to know high danger. Action Jassian saying it's not looking good for the Oilers, guys. Random. High danger, yeah. What do we got? Okay, so interestingly, the Dallas Stars scoring chances are 27-8, but the high danger scoring chances are only 9-5. So Dallas is really shooting for volume here, starting to work in their favor. We'll see. Random, but how do you like the Jays City Connects? That's from SLS. Man, I hated them from the leaked photo. They don't look bad. I'm not like, there's a lot of people that think they're sick. I don't know. They're fine. They're fine. I'm a big fan of the Blue Jays 70s and early 80s powder blues. That's my favorite Jays jersey of all time. The powder blue Jays, like the mid to late 80s look. That's my Blue Jays. Not that I'm that old, but that's fun and retro to me. City Connects one's fine. It was cool seeing Jose Bautista doing batting practice the other day, though. I like that. Come on, Dallas, overtime so we can beat you 3-2 Oilers. I'm going to go back to the vibe checks here. This game is so stressful. I am so nervous. Another Isles fan rooting for Kyle Okposo in the finals. Let's see here. I'm here for chaos and anarchy. Go Cats. Chaos and anarchy. I want a game 7 so we can spend more time with you, Julian. Thank you. That's very nice. Oilers fan, not worried. Oiler fan, here we got this. Oiler fan farts right now would be a dog. Whoa, okay. We're not going to read that one. How do I donate money to McDavid? I don't know what that even means. Let's go double overtime, not more. I will run out of beer. Adam is so neutral as he waves his blue and orange pom-poms. You know what's so funny about that is that in the Vancouver series, Oiler fans were upset with me because they thought that I was against them. And then Vancouver fans were like, hey, you were pro us in the first series against Nashville, and now you're not on our team anymore. And I was like, but first off, I'm always going to cheer for the Canadian team versus the American team. And secondly, I just want to throw out there that I was trying to be neutral. And if both sides hate you or both sides think you're biased, then you're probably doing the right job. Wonder if the Oilers can win a cup with Perry. He seems cursed at this point. It is funny that you keep getting called a homer. I am a homer for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Actually, I don't even know if I'd be called a homer for the Toronto Maple Leafs because Leaf fans accuse me sometimes of not being a good enough fan, for not like blindly following them. I do blindly follow them. I will not blindly say that they're good though all the time. I'll tell you when they're good. I'll tell you when they're crap. As best I can anyway. Not always right. Always try to be honest though with how I'm feeling. Are you co-hosting the Cup Finals with Dangle? I am not. And that's for the best because I think Steve needs to have, he's so intense and in it and whatever. Like, what am I? I'm just taking up space there. You got to let Steve do what he's the master at. He's great at these streams. They're fun to watch. I doubt Adam would ever cheer for the Senators. It would be hard. It would be hard. Especially because Ottawa fans have been a little over the top the last 2 summers. Like a little, like somebody called me a troglodyte because I was like, the Jake Sanderson deal seems expensive. And then they were like, you don't know anything about Ottawa Senators hockey. You don't know. And they're going to beat the Leafs this year. And they did. And they're like, and they did beat the Leafs a lot that year. And they're like, and you don't know anything. The Senators are going to go further in the playoffs than the Leafs. And the Senators are one of the few teams that can't go further in the playoffs than the Leafs. That's how bad they are. So, but they are the perennial winner of the August Stanley Cup. Just ask Senators fans. They're always the best team in the league in August. Seriously, it happens every year. London lost the Memorial Cup. Oh, baby. Hey, listen, I want to remind people of something. Connor McDavid also lost the Memorial Cup to who? That's right, the Oshawa Generals. And who was in the building? Stephen Washington Lincoln Nebraska Dangle. Those are his real middle names. Hey, we're over 2,000. Look at that. What's up, baby? What's up? The Cottage Cup champions, Ottawa. I like that. That's true. Head-to-head streams, Adam versus Steve. Just just destroy our own streams. Let's just cannibalize our own audience. You just said you always cheer for a Canadian team in the playoffs. See, you are not neutral. Well, Rita, here's the deal. Ottawa would have to make the playoffs for me to have to worry about rooting for them in the playoffs. And they haven't since 2017, so I'm not that worried about it. Gripper Nation, what's up? Oh, are we getting frame drops? Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes you can blame Rogers' internet because that's what we have here. We are looking at the frame drops right now. 3:52 left. 3:48 left. The shots are 33-10. Really hard for the Oilers to get a 3-1 goal if they're not getting any shots. Listen to that crowd. Leaf fans will be sitting on their hands going, oh my God, I'm so scared right now. And I can't blame them. The Oilers give the fans something to cheer about. That impression of Sens fans was spot on. CJ Impossible Films, I'm telling you, if you're on hockey Twitter in August, which you should never be, I want to tell you, Senators fans are they're gonna compare lines to your team and they're gonna tell you how they're better. Tim Roby Show, get a grip. Hashtag Gripper Nation. Hit that like button. Juicer, stop showing bias. Show me a human being and I will show you a biased person. Have the Leafs ever killed 28 straight penalties? No. Not a freaking chance. Are you kidding me? If they kill like 2 out of 4 in a game, we're like, yeah, we got him. Stanley's coming home, playing the parade. August hockey Twitter is the best. As long as, one T Glory, it is the best as long as you don't participate in it. If you occasionally, you're on vacation, you're like, you know what, I'm going to look at Twitter and I'm going to watch random people screaming at each other. That's fun. I get it. But August Twitter, hockey Twitter, don't participate in that. Do the intermission during the finals with Jesse. Oh, that's fun. That's a good idea. just let Steve just let me back in there. Adam, you should just be in the background of Steve's streams doing squats. Why? Because these legs are thick with 2 C's? Because I'm a thick daddy? Adam, sign my gripper. Come to one of our events. You never know what'll happen. We got over 2,000 people watching all at once. 3:12 left in the game. We got a face-off at center ice. The fourth line for the... Oh, not the fourth line. What am I talking about? Janmark is playing up now because they need a little defense, and they trust him, and they should. Oh, Draisaitl with a steal. Oh, why did he pass? Draisaitl, Mitch Marner there. That's a Mitch Marner. Love Mitch. That's what Mitch would do there too. I'm trying to be too pretty. I'm extremely pretty as a hockey player. Let me be too pretty. Oh. I want to go to an SDP Live event with a giant inflatable foot. I encourage you to bring it on. All right, here we go. 2 minutes left, or 2 minutes and 23 seconds left. Let's go. Are we going to get a tying goal, or are we getting Edmonton into the finals? What are we going to get, guys? Oh, what it's good save on Seguin there by Stuart Skinner. Nice try, chat. I know you've been trying to get me to say Jeff. His name isn't Jeff. 2:10 left in the game. Zach Tardif. I can't believe you had Leafs winning the cup in your bracket. Guys, I always have the Leafs winning the cup in my bracket. I have a rule. We don't bet against the Leafs. I don't do it. I won't do it. We got an empty net for the Dallas Stars, who have outshot the Oilers now 34-10. This will be a story tomorrow. Okay? No matter how this game goes, that kind of shot differential is going to be bananas headline shit material. It's going to be Stuart Skinner is a god, or the Edmonton Oilers fumbled the bag. And we will know which headline it is in the next 2 minutes and 6 seconds. Any SDPN events scheduled for the U.S. soon? I think we've got some on the way in the fall. The problem is that the NHL releases the schedule in like late June, which is really effing annoying because when you're working with clients on stuff like this, they want to book stuff and you can't. Oh, I thought that puck went in. I think that was Heiskanen with the shot. Baby, 1:54 left. This is going to be the longest 2 minutes of both Oiler and Dallas Stars fans' lives. The longest 2 minutes of hockey this entire season is Game 6, Dallas-Edmonton in Edmonton Rogers Arena. Heiskanen. Over to Robertson. Back to Heiskanen. Nobody on him. Rupe Hintz back to Heiskanen and a shot. Draisaitl clears the puck barely. McDavid tied up on the ice with, I think that was Stankoven. 1:21 left. Are we going to get an empty netter? Oh, no. Oh, a Dallas Star player dives, gets in the way, trips up the Oiler player. I think, could you call that a trip? Probably. He had the puck. It was a scoring chance. They're absolutely never making that call, though. With 1 minute exactly left, Oilers fans, you're a minute away from the Stanley Cup Finals, your first since 2006 on that magical Dwayne Rollison, Chris Pronger run. Oiler fans are on their feet, and they're jumping, and they're hoping and praying they can at least get, Dallas is in. Heiskanen holds it at the line. No shot. Over to Robertson. Down low. Oh, Mason Marchment just missed a beautiful wide open cage. Here we go. Back down low. Robertson. Oilers clear. It's going to be an icing call. Oh, baby. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, is it not an icing? It's not. We got 15 seconds until the Edmonton Oilers are going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Matthias Janmark. Oh, and Dallas with another. Ladies and gentlemen, the Edmonton Oilers are going to the Stanley Cup Finals. They were under siege all game. Shots are 35 Dallas, 10 Edmonton, and it doesn't matter. Stuart Skinner is getting a statue made. Oh my goodness. Zach Hyman, Connor McDavid, the guys you needed to get it done, got it done. They got it done. The big boys got it done. That is how great teams win. There's so many people when the Oilers went into this series that said Dallas has this. They're more even throughout the lineup. They got a better defense core and they got a better playoff goalie. And all of those statements objectively are true. Dallas is more balanced throughout the lineup, especially with Rupe in it. They are more balanced and better on defense. They do have a better goalie. Doesn't matter. The Oilers' high-end skill gets it done. They were ruthlessly efficient. And a big shout-out to Chris Knobloch, who is, by the way, a rookie NHL coach. I think one of the key things he did in this series was when Adam Henrique came back, he split up the Evander Kane, Dylan Holloway, Leon Draisaitl line that was just not getting it done. McLeod, Draisaitl, Corey Perry, Holloway, Henrique, Evander Kane. Henrique had a great goal from Connor Brown, shorthand, and they're gonna catch up here. And the other thing that he did, he took a risk. He sat Vinny Desharnais. He put him with Nurse. It worked for a bit, and then it stopped working. So what did he do? He changed it up again. Nurse, Kulak, Broberg, Ceci for Game 5 and Game 6, and it worked. It worked. He took risks, and it worked. And ladies and gentlemen, Connor McDavid, shaking hands right now with Stankoven, is going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Something that NHL fans. Hayden Matheson's got a crazy stat for me from Elliot Friedman. Edmonton's 10 shots were the fewest in a conference finals clincher ever. Fewest by 7. Previous was 17 by Boston when knocking out the Washington Capitals in the 1990 Wales Conference Final. They end up losing the finals to the Edmonton Oilers. Worst shot differential by a winning team in a conference finals clincher, minus 25, 35-10. That's today. The previous was negative 23 when Nashville was outshot 41-18 by Anaheim in Game 6 of the 2017 West Final. Predators won that game 6-3. I don't even know what you attribute it to. I mean, I would say that part of it is a lot of those shots that Dallas went for were not dangerous shots. And I think you got to look at the high danger scoring chances to kind of look at that. But I got to tell you, Stuart Skinner still had to make all the bad saves too. Oh, so what? It was a bad shot. Nothing went through him. And this is a guy that last series was chased from the net for a couple of games in favor of Calvin Pickard, who, by the way, came in and played well. People called Chris Knobloch desperate for doing that. And then they called him crazy. And I remember thinking, you're going to put Stuart Skinner back in after Pickard played that well? The right call. The right call. Connor McDavid's getting interviewed by Kyle Bukauskas right now. He had 10 points in 6 games. Guys, the big boys got it done for the Edmonton Oilers. If you're an Oilers fan, I'm absolutely thrilled for you. Absolutely thrilled for you. I hope you're having the best time right now. And I want to say this. I hope you enjoy the hell out of these finals. I hope you love this, because as a Leaf fan, I've never seen it in my lifetime. How dorky is it to be happiest for Knobloch? It's dorky, but you got to be happy for the guy. You got to be happy for the guy. This is crazy. Okay, now here's the question. Are they going to touch the trophy? Are they going to touch it? Do they touch it? Do they touch it? I want to know. They're going to take this. We're not shutting this stream off until we know. We need to know. We need to know. Are they going to? So a lot of people saying no. A lot of people saying no. Do they do it? Listen, the Panthers touched it last year. Didn't work out for them. Sedin Magic. Adam, my real name is Michael. I've been here since game 1, and it's been a pleasure, bud. I can't wait for your streams next season. I promise I'll be there every Monday. Hey, Michael, I appreciate it. And by the way, you don't have to be there every Monday next season, my friend. Just come in whenever life allows you to. As always, we're always going to be here, and we're here when you can join us. And when you can join us, it's the best. I love that you're here. Got lots and lots of people listening in, lots of people watching. This is awesome fun. Wow. Hey, producer, you guys will find this funny. Producer Drew tweeted, weird that the Western Conference Final will be the easiest series for the Dallas Stars, but it's factual. You know who just retweeted that? He tweeted that before game 1. You know who retweeted that? Freezing Cold Takes. That's rough, baby. That's rough. Here comes Bill Daly, everybody's favorite Bill, this Donnie. Sam Bennett comes out and forces McDavid to touch the trophy with a cross-check. Exactly this Donnie. Bill Daly is going to present the Clarence Campbell Bowl. Will Connor McDavid touch it? Will anybody touch it? They will not be touching it. And we will have a new Stanley Cup winner this year. And what I mean by new is we don't have any repeat champions. We have a finalist from last year. We have a West finalist from last year. East finalist to the fifth finals, obviously. West conference finalist. And they are not touching that damn trophy. They're not even touching the stand that it is on. Oilers fans, I am thrilled for you. I'm absolutely thrilled for you. I hope that you guys enjoy this moment. This is really special. For Oilers fans, this used to happen a lot more than it has lately. And I just want to say that pretty freaking fantastic. Windwalker, when the Oilers hit the ice for the finals, the first skater out of the tunnel should carry a Canadian flag. I agree with that. I agree with that. Big shout out for Jeff Skinner. Man. Jeff Skinner. I gave you one more Jeff Skinner. Oilers fans, have a great time tonight. And I want to say this. This is my last stream of the playoff year. So I want to shout out the crew. Producer Maddie, who joined me in the first round. Producer Hayden, who's been with me rounds 2 and 3. I want to shout out Robert Malloy, who is on these all the time. I want to shout out Justin Fisher. Everybody that's helped me get onto this. And Gripper Nation, you guys have been absolutely phenomenal. And we would not be able to do this incredible gig without you. So I just want to say thank you for the super chats and the gifted subs and the comments and everything else. I have really loved hanging out with you, and we will do this again. I'm aiming for, wait for it on the Steve Dangle podcast, but I'm aiming for Mondays next year. I want to go all the way through the year with you, and I want to have a really great time doing it. So we're going to do Mondays. It won't just be Leaf games. It'll be all over the place. Some nights I'll do a 10 p.m. Some nights I'll do a 7. We're going to go around the league, okay? And it looks like, oh no. And I just wanted to say, before we go, I wanted to say thank you. And Producer Hayden, get ready to wrap up the stream. But we just hit 1,000 likes. So you know what that means, baby. Let's go!